start with. Never mind. Hi there, everyone, and great to see you. This time, hopefully, there is no technical problems. Is everything okay from your end, Shell?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've been really looking forward to this, and I know a lot of other people have, because I put out a video last week, an hour-long video, so it's going to take a little while. We might be a bit longer than we usually are. And I actually released it on Abby's anniversary. So this is kind of like, we're doing this for Abby. It's what she would want us to do, right, Shirley? Oh, sorry, on mute again.
Yeah. Yeah, calling him out and debunking him. That's what she was all about.
Yeah. And, well, we want to focus on what we can expose AD for. We don't want to focus on anything else, just what we can expose in his own words. So there's no reason for him to question, but certainly there's certain ones we'd like answers to. Yeah, right, Guernsey girl, for Abby. Rest in peace. So what I've done, I've got the video set up, and we'll go through. I've taken clips from No Hate. So they were basically worthy of a thread in No Hate. And we'll go through each clip. And then, Shirley, you can give your opinion on it, what you want to say, and I will certainly do the same. And we'll just go through it like that. And then afterwards, there's a few, there's a couple of videos I would just like a couple of minute videos that I'd like to just remind everybody of. But thanks everyone for being here. It's I welcome everybody. Oh, I can kind of see chat if I look away, but have we got mods? Oh yeah, we've got you, Shirley, right?
I'm here.
Okay, that's good. And what I've done is taken a few little clips from this past week that are actually issues that we've been dealing with for a while. And we want to get a few things straight. Every time he comes on live, he tells the same old story that never really is true, but we never have the opportunity to be able to debunk it. So these are just a few of the ones that we want to debunk. They're random, so I don't know what's coming up. So let's see here. The first one is okay. Here's a good one to start, because this is really something which really is sad. It's the issues about Super Chat and how not only how he thinks we are upset with him when we get Super Chat. And this is his technique. I think we've all seen it. His technique for getting other people to put Super Chat in is to bore them up, make them think that it's against us trolls. We're not trolls, of course. We are not gang stalkers. And we are not haters. I personally don't hate. And I'm sure there's others are. Some do. I mean, that's their prerogative. But I certainly don't. I just want to expose what we all know. So this one, let's just watch it. And then let's see whether or not we can discuss it.
Nancy, you know that's what they hate the most, don't you? They can't figure out Nancy. They think she's my sister or something. Idiots. They can't believe that somebody supports me, you see. Someone like me, that all I do is lie and con people. Have any of you ever asked me, have any of you ever seen me ask for a donation? Have any of you ever seen me, in all the hours I've been here, say to you, please give me some money? Super chat? No. No, Zinana, thank you.
There. Now, how many of us get upset in the reality of him actually getting the super chat? What we get upset about is that he, I won't say cons people, but he manipulates people to send him super chat. In the case of Nancy, that's different. That's her thing. She wants to do it. We certainly don't get upset with her if she wants to do it. It's her prerogative. I just personally find it sad. I find it sad, and I think a lot of people do. But you agree on that, Shirl, right?
Yeah, he tries to use like almost like a mob mentality type thing, you know. It's like, if you don't like the trolls and you don't like them coming for me because you all love me so much, send me money and that'll make them mad, you know. And unfortunately it works. I mean, on the other hand, I've seen other creators do it and it works. I am different than you. I don't feel sad for anybody that sends him money anymore. I used to feel bad for them, but he's been on long enough. There's enough videos out there about him that show what kind of a person he is. And if anybody wants to send him money, knock yourself out. That's your money. I don't feel bad for them anymore.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think like I just said, for Nancy, that's fine. She knows what she's doing, and feel free. Send him as much as you want. We don't worry about that. What I care about is and this, keep in mind, now we're talking now, it's only just recently died down. I'm talking about what has happened in the past as well. And what he has done is he manipulates. He will claim he's got no food. He's got no money. He claims the victim. He's using that now. As soon as he has a victim video, up comes the super chat. It's just, he loves it. And we don't get mad at him getting it as such. Get mad, not mad. I don't really get mad. But it bothers me that he takes people in to encourage them to send it. And doesn't always.
And he lies. You know, I don't know why he needs to lie. I don't know why he needs to put on this pretense that he can't afford dog food, or he can't do this, or he can't do that. So he lies about what this money's for. He can spend all the super chat. Go do your poker. Go on vacation. Spend it on whatever the hell you want. But why do you feel the need to lie about it? And then that makes them feel bad for him. So they send him more money. You know, that's the thing. He can get all the money he wants. That doesn't make us mad. The mad part is that he's lying about what it's for. I mean, he doesn't even have to say what it's for at all. Just don't say anything.
Yeah. It's I think I've seen too many vulnerable ladies that have said, I'll pay you at the end of the week when I get my, money or whatever. It's anyway. Let's move on to the next one, because there's more about the money, I think. But this one just made me laugh. Oh, hang on. There's one before, and I can't remember what this was about, but it was also about super chat.
Martin snuck people into Patreon, pretended to be supporters, and then they gather statements and even clips from patrons. Yeah, I know, Spicy Lady, they're so underhand, aren't they? Anybody that gives me super chat, those poor people that give me super chat tonight, they will go and try to find them on Facebook and tell them off tomorrow. They all have their little jobs, like they all have a WhatsApp group where they say what they're going to do. You piggyback off of me. Welcome, new patrons. And I have to say that you regular patrons are keeping me here, you know, really. I have to say a special thanks to Kaka. You have no idea the amount of work that lady gets through. Dealing with this police force and that police force, and they're doing this, and you go right to that letter, and then there's a court case, and then there's a new patron, then there's the write-up and the script. She does so much for us. I have to thank you, Kaka. All of you, everybody, but Kaka seems to have a particularly lot on her plate lately. So I'm trying not to give her too much work to do at the moment. I'm concentrating on Annie's story because I don't need any help on that. So, but anyway.
I left that end bit in because I couldn't help saying to myself time and time again, why don't you do all that work? Like, why give everything to Kaka? Your admins, your mods, your subs. Do some work yourself.
Well, we know why. The thing that got me about that is that we need to be clear about, first off, nobody has jobs. We're not like AD. He runs his channel like everybody has a job. Yeah, like Kaka has a job. Like everybody has jobs. And we don't stop. That's instilling that fear. Like anybody that gives me super chat, they'll stalk you on Facebook. That's stupid. That's just stupid.
I know.
Why would we do that? This whole thing about a WhatsApp group, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Everybody has jobs. He has a really self-inflated importance of what he thinks we're doing. It's not just a bunch of people who don't like the man and want him to stop doing what he's doing. It's got to be this organized thing coming after him. It's like you're not that important.
And as for WhatsApp, I have been trying to get WhatsApp to speak to one person in particular. I've been trying to get it for ever. I can't get into it. I can't do it. And no, we've never had a WhatsApp group. I've never been on WhatsApp. But like you say, nobody goes and follows them. Maybe there's others out of our little community that go doing that. But I'm pretty sure that most people in our kind of group community are not doing stuff like that. Why would we? I just don't know.
It's just ridiculous. And he just does it to try to make himself sound like an even bigger victim than what he actually thinks he is. He knows better than that. He knows nobody's stalking anybody on Facebook. Like, that's just not even a thing. You know, because somebody gives them a super chat, somebody's job is to go out on Facebook and find them and stalk them. Like, come on. That's ridiculous.
And Martin getting us all together to get onto Patreon to see him.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't know anybody that's in touch with Martin directly, at least in general. A lot of us maybe have known in the past how to be able to contact him, but you can never contact him anyway, so it's not even worth trying. And as far as his Patreons go, there's usually only the mods in there. His admin are in Patreon. Maybe he gets a couple of other people, and anybody else is probably just us, just looking to see exactly what people would be paying for.
Right.
And it's never worth the money, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Patreon seems to have gone down a lot, but that kind of goes into, again, we have said this for years. There is no leader. Nobody there is no leader. every creator that has been calling him out, they've done it on their own. And they do. And that's why sometimes you'll see the same videos, certain creators will show the same part, a clip from, because it's not an organized thing, and unlike what appears to be how he runs his channel, those of us that aren't creators, we're not like little worker ants. We don't just sit there and wait for these creators to dole out jobs to us. Like, okay, now I got it. We're on it. We don't do that. It's like I said, he's just trying to make it sound way more like it's this mafia takedown thing. We don't have a leader. Nobody reports to
darn.
anybody.
I thought I was your boss. No.
Sorry to break it to you, but no, there's no leader. Like I said, there are certain subs that are really loyal to certain creators and they'll help, but that's not it. Nobody tells anybody what to do, like what he does. He has his mods do everything for him. I don't know any creator on our side that has ever done that. Now, as again, creators can't be everywhere all the time. So, because they're only one person. So, their subs or whatever will catch a screenshot of something and they'll send it to their favorite creator. But nobody's told anybody to do that. That's ridiculous.
No, and even in the No Hate group, you and Carrie helped me out. None of us know what the other one's doing. You're just there, and hopefully, you seem to help. I kind of do something sometimes, and there's no telling everybody what to do. Hey, Shirley, you didn't take all the members today.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, because I think that's how he runs his channel, he just assumes that's how everybody does it, and that's not the case. It's, again, we all know why we came together. We all know what we're doing this for. And it's not to help any creator. As far as I know, back in the Truth Channel days, nobody was monetized. I think there is one now that is, but other than that, nobody's ever been monetized. Never. And they say they never will be.
Yeah. And that's the issue too, is that he has constantly said, oh, they use me for clicks and to get their money, and I make more money, or whatever, who knows, which is totally wrong, because we use the name Armchair Detective not to get clicks, but to try and get through to the people that watch him, so that we can, that's our only way of showing his subs the truth. That's why we put Armchair Detective at the start. Don't you agree? Because we don't get money. We can assure you of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. He did actually, I think it was a day or so ago, mention about the clicks, but he didn't mention about making money. So maybe that got through to him. But anyway, another one is, this one made me laugh. Oh dear, it's only a very short clip, but it made me laugh.
Diem, Martin Diem, remember the name? He doxed my house. He doxed me where I walk my dog. He followed me around hotels and told people where I was. He followed me into pool competitions and poker competitions, and turned up at the table.
Turned up at the table. Martin actually went over from when he was in Norway and turned up at the table where he was playing poker. Oh, yes.
Right. And that's the other thing. I had never heard that before until the other day. All these years, I've never heard him say that. And then all of a sudden the other day, now Martin has shown up at the table, embarrassed him in front of his friends. It's like, what the hell is that? Oh, we have to amp it up. And because he knows he's got all new subs, he can lie to them, because the subs at the time know that didn't happen. But he's got new subs now because he's lost so many. So now no, I'm not.
They're all transient. Hi, Cole.
He wants me to get off so I can go outside and play. Okay, I'm going on mute.
So, I mean, there's the issue. He claims that he doxed his house. Well, that address is actually on the web. I've seen it before. It was there before he actually moved to another place. And then he moved out of the place he was at. I don't know exactly where he moved to. Maybe he did move back to that place. But anyway, the
doxing of his address, we all saw that. We were all watching. It was his own sub put in his chat the address. That was really? What, 2 years ago. Yeah. It was his own sub that put in the address.
Well, he'd better watch his subs, because his claim that he couldn't be walking Winston anymore with the video was because somebody doxed the park he was in.
Yes.
Well, excuse me. He's been around that park so much. Oh, it was a sub that did it. It wasn't any troll or any gang stalker. Exactly. It was the sub that did it.
Exactly. It was his own sub that named the name of the park or something like that. It wasn't any of the quote unquote trolls or any of us. It was his own person. We saw it right there in his friggin' chat. But of course he's not going to admit that. And you know, the comment was deleted really quick. Yeah.
But that's why we're here, Shirley.
Right.
We're kind of putting a few things straight here.
Exactly.
Because not only was it his sub in the park that doxed his park, he's done several videos in the park with identifying locations that I never bothered looking, but anybody who wanted to look, they could easily find out which park it was. And not only that, I had to laugh. There was he had a chap singing in the park, and oh my goodness, you'd have to see it. It just made me laugh. So yeah, so that all of that is known. So he wasn't doxed in the park. As far as the one thing that really gets me is that he claims that Martin showed his hotel room. What Martin did was, we all knew where he was playing poker, and the picture of the casino has the hotel belonging to it on the one side. And all Martin did was put an arrow towards the hotel. He didn't know which room he was in. He wasn't doxing his room.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is at one point he tried to say that he was stalked. Somebody was videotaping him through the casino. He was being stalked. It was the casino, or the poker tournament was live streaming the tournament. Oh, yeah. It wasn't anybody walking around with a camera stalking him, but he portrayed it that way. But it was live streamed across the whole friggin' internet. Anybody could join in and watch this live stream.
I know. And I hope I've got the little clip where they, on the live stream, it's Tower. He's a great bloke. He's funny. And the other chap that's with him, he said, all in vain. Yeah, he said he went to America, didn't he, to do investigations or something. But you've got to look at the other chap's face, because he's kind of laughing like, yeah, right. But this is what he was telling them. You know, this is what he tells them. He's going to America to do investigations. Oh, well. So let's move on to the next one. Not sure what this one is. I can never remember what I record, so I'm going to show it and then we'll just play it by ear.
Yeah, they get clicks for using my name, don't they? DM will always go, Armchair Detective is an idiot, right? But he always puts the word Armchair Detective in it. So they use my name. But what do they want clicks for? What is it they want? I don't know. What's the point of watching them? They're only going to say they hate me. People get bored with that, don't they?
Yeah, we've discussed about why we put Armchair Detective, but my videos don't hate. I don't put any hate. I don't hate anybody. You know me, I'm like, I get on with everyone. I don't care. I'm not into putting my energy into hating anybody or whatever. And everybody thinks I'm weird, but I'm happy that way. But yeah, it's not hate. You know, if we're showing things of what he said, how can that be hate? Now, we are discussing it right now, but generally we just show the videos. That's not hate. Like, where do you get the hate from? Where do you get the trolling? Where do you get the gang stalking? Just exposing what he says, right? Yeah. Okay, I understand you're kind of sorted there. So I'm going to move on to the next one. And oh, this made me laugh too.
Age is catching up with me. I tried to explain that, yeah, I probably would give up and retire, but I can't afford to. I'll be honest with you, I can't afford to. I'd rather have somewhere to live than not do YouTube. It's slightly more important. They're addicted to hurting to me. I think a lot of it's jealousy. You know, a lot of them started out as supporters, don't you? No, not all the ex-mods are the thing for me. No. I'm saying these trolls, most trolls start off as a supporter. That's what I'm saying. Don't believe me? Ask Kaka or Silly Nana or anything. They'll tell you. But what I'm perplexed about, they have all these sexual fantasies that they portray onto me, don't they?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
He's priceless. Shirley has one word to say. And on that score, I mean, he has this thing that he thinks everybody likes him, and then when he refuses them, that they go off and join our group or join the gang stalkers. The reality is that, for the most part, anyway, I can't speak for everybody, but for the most part, they see the light, or they stop giving him money and he just blocks them, and that is an absolute. It happens all the time that he does behind the scenes get money from people, you know. So I mean, that's up to him, that's up to them, but don't complain when it hurts a lot of people. I do know some people that he has taken from, and then, you know, then he complains, and then he says they stopped talking to him or they moved because he didn't take their advances. No.
That is the most ridiculous thing. And I can't even believe somebody could say that with a straight face, but it happens. We all know, we've all heard those stories where, you know, the girl breaks up with the guy, he won't leave her alone, she gets mad, and all of a sudden she becomes the crazy ex-girlfriend, you know. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, he's just, every person that has ever called him out on anything did it because he rejected them. Like, that's just stupid. And I'm trying really hard not to cuss, Lizzie, because Jesus. Besides, it's the ooh factor. Like, it's so gross. Not everybody in the world finds this man even remotely attractive. Some people may, good for them, but he walks around thinking everybody just wants him. Well, first off, you just told me you have no money. What the hell would I want with you in the first place? You have no money. Jesus Christ. You're 60 some years old and you have no money. You're definitely not at the top of my want list. Come on. Ugh.
Well, I'm not one that goes for money, but no. I'm gonna go to the next one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I am getting old. And it gets harder every year. But I can't afford. People say to me, why don't you give up YouTube? I say, yeah, great. All right, then. How am I going to pay the rent next month? I live month to month. You think I'm rich? I live month to month. If I give up YouTube, within 2 months, I'll be out in the street. I can't give up. I'm on a treadmill. And the older I get, the harder it is for me to stay up late. If you want to help, if you want to help at all, join my Patreon. The girls have put up my Patreon now. I'm going to Patreon in a minute. Well, very soon. I'm going to Patreon. If you want to talk to me on Patreon, we're going to put the Patreon link up. I'm going there now. Well, I explain properly to my real loyal supporters who are in Patreon. I'd like to thank all you patrons because without you, I wouldn't be able to pay the rent. So, because I don't get paid on YouTube anymore. So I'm going to go to Patreon and stay with my friends and have a quiet chat. I'm going to make a cup of coffee, walk the dog, have a chat to my innermost people on Patreon. And I'd like to thank you all for listening to me tonight. I could live another 30 years. Yeah, I know. So we're going to put the Patreon link up now. And even if you don't want to watch me on Patreon, if you were to join, it helps my fight against these trolls anyway. So even if you don't want to watch Patreon, if you can join, it would help.
So just join, but you don't have to watch, but just give me your money. And the fact that he says my real loyal. So if somebody is in the same spot that he's claiming to be in, that they don't have a whole lot of money, so they can't really afford to, that means they're not as loyal if they're not handing him money. Is that how he dictates what a loyal sub is whether you pay him or not? And again, I've never heard that part. Even if you don't want to watch anything, if you could just sub, if you could just sign up and give me your money.
Is that ridiculous?
Oh my God.
I mean, the things he expects of them. I mean, look back to when he was trying to monetize the Green Channel. He asked, and I do have all the stuff for that, not handy, just going to say it. He asked people to put it on 24 hours a day and just to make up the 4,000 hours that he needed. You don't have to watch it, just put it on. Get your friends to put it on. I mean, is that not desperation for money?
Yeah. And it's gross.
You know, and as far as not getting monetized, we all know, and this is one of Mike's always on about this, is he's not monetized on the Blue Channel. That doesn't mean that he doesn't get super chat, memberships, merch, PayPal, coffee, buy him a coffee, and other stuff. But on the Red Channel, he's had close to 100, I think, or a little bit 90, whatever, Nicola Bully videos. He gets monetized for those. I worked out, I think in the first 2 months, he made about 5,000 on those. There was one that got 100,000 views, so he would have got $500 or so for that. I mean, it might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, but yeah, he does get money and he is monetized. If he wants to have 3 channels, then claim them all. Don't just tell on the Blue Channel that, oh, well, I don't get monetized on here. I'm working tonight for nothing. Well, the fact is, he advertises on that channel for all of the things that I've just told you about. It's, and also he's monetized on the Red. So, yeah, that's... Oh, and the other thing I want to add, and this gets me, he's on pension, maybe disability, maybe he gets whatever. I don't know how much he gets, doesn't matter. I'm on pension. So I I've been working on the Maddie case for 16 years. I've been putting a lot of effort into exposing him for 4 or 5 years. I've never made a penny. And why would I? I can live on my pension. That's what you do. A pension is given to you to be able to live on it. And I don't live with relatives. I have to pay my way. So how come he's claiming that if he didn't have YouTube, he'd be out on the street? Yeah, right.
Because he's an idiot.
And
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, carry on.
Well, I was going to say, people come on YouTube to make money. Obviously not the people not the channels that are exposing him, but there's nothing wrong with making money on YouTube. People do it all the time. But to cry poor mouth, trying to guilt your subs into it, that's the disgusting part. Clearly, the man can live on his own without, being on YouTube, because there are millions of people who live on a small budget, and they're not on YouTube, so he doesn't have to.
Yeah, it kind of is sickening, and this is the thing that I think you've said it a few times. I don't care if people get paid on YouTube. It's not about that. In the Maddie case, we don't take any money for our videos or anything, because the Maddie case file admin and members spent 4 years voluntarily translating the files. Those files give us the opportunity to have all the discussions and videos that we want. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do it. And it was always an unwritten rule that we wouldn't make money off little Maddie or the people that I think that would be just awful. The people that put all their effort voluntarily for 4 years and we use it and make money. No. So that's why. On our channels, no, we don't make, on the truth channels, we don't make money. And I think we're all proud of it, because I wouldn't want to be accused of making money off him. Sorry. I live on the pension I get. No extra. I don't get, well, once in a while, get me GST, but yeah, you learn to live within your, within your comfort zone. You do without if you have to. And yeah,
but do we really even believe that he's that broke? I mean, I don't believe that for a second.
Of course he's not.
He's not. So it's just another, again, he's not the only YouTuber that does that, but he's the one that we're looking at for a lot of different reasons. It's just another part of his lying, his conning, his bullshit.
And it was, now I think I worked out about a month or so ago, I haven't done it lately, regardless of him looking like his channel's going downhill and he's not getting any money, I worked it out. He was getting approximately 10,000 that month. I think it was probably 2 months ago, maybe 3. That was when Nicola Bully was getting a lot of clicks. And yeah, he was making something like 10, even if it was 5, and that's not trying to, if somebody says it's none of our business, what would you say to them, Shirley? Oh, the point is that he's using.
Sorry, I'm here. I couldn't get to the mute button.
Okay.
Anybody that says that it's none of our business, I would say, well, when he gets on YouTube and he begs for money and he lies to get it, he makes it everybody's business.
Yeah. It's what he's doing. He's lying and deceiving and manipulating. And like you say, you don't care so much now and feel sad if people want to give him money. I feel like I kind of am leaning towards that way, but by the same token, he's got a lot of transient people now, so they don't know the score. They don't realize that um, it back in March of 2020, I think it was around the time of the letters when he all of a sudden his Patreon went up to $10 a month. You know, all the others were sold out. You cannot sell out of Patreon. He can put it on $1. He can put it on $5. He can put it on $3, $2, but he doesn't. He claims it's sold out. Now, the only reason they have that sold out thing is because usually most people give something in return in Patreon. You know, they will have special nights for just Patreons, not special things for Patreons, special videos or whatever. I think at one point he was sending photos, wasn't he? But you don't run out of nothing. There is no difference whether you pay $1 or whether you pay $10, and some have even paid for the year. Can you believe that? He must sit there and it's like this. And the point is, behind all this is the fact that the whole point he's there is not for anything else. His agenda is money and greed. And that's why it's our business, because he's just taking it from everybody. I'm sorry. It's pretty sad. Have I got to the end of... I think I've got to the end of these, except I'm saving one for after the video. So, okay, is anybody giving any questions?
Not so far.
Okay. So now, if I can manage it, and I did test it, if I can do it, because I can't remember always. Oh, Sandy. Oh dear. Yeah, I've got the book. That was disgusting, the book. I tell you what, if I bought a book like that out of this circumstance, I would take one look at it and look at a page that was half formatted and then it was blank and then it carried on with a paragraph at the top of the next page.
Not Bubbles and AD's finest moment, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, we probably would have found all kinds of things to pick it apart, but man, they just made it so easy.
Oh, you didn't. You only needed to open up a page.
Right.
Open up one page and there'd be something on it. The format. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he supposed to make like a full-length documentary too? And we're specifically paying for the documentary because he was going to hire, you know, photographers and editors and all of that. And people were really paying or supposed to be paying into this documentary fund that was supposed to come out after the book. Yeah, where'd that go? Also, the people that were paying to fund that going to America, the poker true crime tour he was going to do around the world, people paid in for that. I mean, there are so many things that he's lied about. I mean, the one good thing is he doesn't have the sub base that he had back in the day. So to him, he probably does feel like he's very, very poor compared to what he was getting before, but he's still not poor.
Well, that time back in March of 2020, I think it was, might have been 21. I did a very conservative estimate of what he was getting. And it worked out. And it may be in the video that I'll be showing you. It worked out to approximately $25,000 a month. Now, not every month, obviously. This was... he'd earned, I think, 3,000 something in that 1 month. I've got every one of them listed. He had, at that time, we knew how many patrons. I think he had 1,500 patrons. He'd stopped us being able to see it now, or whatever. Anyway, that's 1,500, and the minimum was $10. Don't let him say it was $1, because the dollars ran out years before. He put it up to 10 by then. And yeah, and everything else.
There's a question on the screen for you.
What happened to Bubbles? Bubbles, she bowed out, basically, I think, is what we can say. She just decided.
Did she come to her senses, or did she just get fed up?
I don't know. They claim she had a mini stroke or something like that. But she bowed out, the same as Joe the cat. So what I tried to do, pardon?
I was just going to say, have you noticed this trend? I mean, I hope to the Lord that it's not true, but have you noticed this trend when he loses mods? It's always for some physical ailment, something physically. And I'm sure there may have been one or two where, you know, something has happened to them with their health and they have to, you know, but every mod that's ever left him has been for health reasons. So either he's lying, which that's going to where I'm going to put 99% of my $100 at. But if not, what the hell are you doing to these people where they all have to leave after a certain point because of health reasons? Jesus.
Yeah, but Cheryl, you've got $100. You know what? He could really, he might like you for that.
Yeah, I'll tell him where to put my $100. Yeah. Yep.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
I'm going to go through the video and attempt to stop it after each clip so we can just make a little comment or whatever. It's 57 minutes long, the video. One of the clips is there's a lot of stuff about when he was trying to get monetized, and I think it was 15 minutes long, so we don't need to watch all of that. But for the others, there are just lots of little clips. Let's get going. Let's start exposing, not hating, not gang stalking, not trolling, just allowing his words to tell us the story. Maybe. Okay, I don't have to look for the little box, do I? Okay.
No, you didn't. And you also, you know, the thing about the gasoline or whatever, that's driving me batty because you were not laughing and singing about babies being burned up. You were not doing, of course not.
If I did sing that, it'd be on one of my morning shows when I used to sing pop songs. Yeah, and they put two and two together and make 49.
Right. Just craziness. And
everyone said, well, the gasoline is going to be the answer. It's going to burn. Baby, burn. It was going to decompose the body quicker with chemicals. He's going to add chemicals, and within, I don't know, maybe 10 days, those poor people would have been sludge.
They laugh about the children being killed. They say I sung "Burn, Baby, Burn" about the children being killed, and it makes me feel sick when I see it. I think, how low are you going to go? I don't even know where it ends. This.
Everyone said, well, the gasoline is going to be the answer. It's going to burn. Baby, burn. It was going to decompose the body quicker with chemicals. can add chemicals, and within, I don't know, maybe 10 days, those poor people live in sludge. Put his hand on the face and the nose and pressed so hard it cracked the nose in and the skull. I don't like to tell you. That's what he did. It's the truth.
They say I laugh about the children being killed. They say I sung "Burn, Baby, Burn" about the children being killed, and it makes me feel sick when I see it. I think, how low are you going to go? I don't even know where it ends. This.
Everyone said, well, the gasoline.
I will agree with him. It does make you sick when you see it.
Yeah. But he was trying to off-put it. And the thing that really got to me, there is no excuse. Those words, and I accidentally, the first video, repeated part of the second video, but I left it on. There might even be a bit more, because you have to, if you only see it for the first time, you can't take it in. You cannot take in what he was saying about those little girls. Was just so disgusting. Oh, I mean, how could anybody say, oh, no. Somebody said yesterday, and this is the reason, their thoughts on it, which they're entitled to their thoughts. Oh, it's just schoolboy stuff. That's what I heard.
What?
Yeah. Just schoolboy stuff. What you've just seen, somebody justifies it because they say it's just schoolboy stuff. Sorry. I don't know. I can't get.
First, he's not a schoolboy, and second off, if one of my sons at any age said that about a dead child, I would snatch them by their hair and give them a come to Jesus meeting. Like, how inappropriate that is.
Yeah.
So because the 60-some, 70-some year old man does it, it's okay. I don't even know what to say about that. No, it's gross. It's horrible. And at the time, you know, people that weren't around at the time need to remember, this is when he was very popular and he was very embedded in the Chris Watts case. And this was the stuff this was how he presented this stuff back then. See, that's the other thing. He talks a lot. I've seen him talk a lot now about that. Well, I'm not even talking about the Watts case anymore. That doesn't matter. Because you've gone on, you've done it to another family, and you're going to try to do it to another family. It's not all just because of the Watts case, but we have so many examples of the disgusting behavior that he did at the time that we're not going to let him forget it. Just, you know, I haven't done Watts for months. Don't give a shit. You still said this shit, and you still need to be held accountable.
He did it in April. He did a Watts video in April.
Right.
You know, that's not that long ago. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Yeah, whatever I was going to say, I'll catch later. So there might be a little bit more of that as a repeat, but let's see. I'm going to try and be careful to stop between each.
The gasoline. It's going to be the answer. It's going to burn. Baby, burn.
Get that, Shirley. That will help.
Yeah.
He admitted to you the girls were alive the next day. Let's get that straight. Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I have my own theory. I'm not so sure that Bella wasn't alive when he put her in the tanks. I hope she was not.
Okay, well, seeing you've gone there, I might as well tell you what I know about that. I obviously studied this. There was oil found in the lungs. You're aware of that, aren't you?
Yeah,
Only on one of the girls, right?
and on her throat, I think.
I've phoned some friends of mine in the medical profession. Say that. I know they're not going to know cases where people have drowned in oil. It doesn't happen very often. If I throw somebody in the sea and they're dead, I said to them, will water get in their lungs? I said, no way. A valve comes across and it doesn't. So let's just take the word oil out and change it for water. How does this oil water get in her lungs if she's passed away already? That's what I said to them. And they said, well, it's pretty obvious it can. It won't go into the lungs unless you're alive. And I don't want to say that. I don't even want to think that. But that's how the medical profession looks at fluids in lungs.
Okay, got it back. So you just went along with it. Now, I've never checked into the Watts investigation. That I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. My focus is on Maddie, and I knew that once I started onto something else. So I really don't know about that issue. But it doesn't really matter. The fact is, it's not something that you want to put on. Well, I guess I have, but I apologize about that. But to choose to make those kind of statements, and we found out in the end that Shirley was not always coming up with the right stuff. Any comment on that, Shirley?
Well, my comment on that is I actually have her book, and I don't know which is worse, hers or his.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. The grammatical errors. It was horrible. It was very. I didn't finish it. Actually, it was at a time where I was doing other things, and I didn't really have time to sit there and read it. So I was having my daughter read it to me while I was doing stuff. She got like halfway through the first chapter. She's like, I can't do this. Because the commas, the periods, the not periods, the run-on sentences, the sentences that just stopped, and all of a sudden there's a brand new subject. It was so confusing to try to keep track of. Yeah. So, I'm glad she went away.
Yeah. She created a lot of issues. There's a few of them. Many. I mean, a lot of his.
Yeah, and her beliefs on what supposedly happened because she, quote unquote, knew was just as crazy and disgusting and ridiculous as AD's. But, that's why that's how they found each other. Like finds like.
Okay, before I go on to the next one, I have the clip. This, of course, is the very famous denied, absolutely denied MI5. So I made a clip because it's a very short clip. I made a picture. I was an MI5 agent, a special agent. That's my only, I know I'm an armchair detective, but I was an agent for MI5. Really, I was. True. Now, it is known that he never referred to that again as being a joke. That was not classified as a joke. And he also did it a second time. I did work for MI5 as an operative and an agent sometime in the past. He tricked his subs. They believed him. People were coming to me and saying, is he a detective? Like, oh, no, he is a detective or something. I read it in his group that they were commenting about him being a detective. So let's just see the video. Apologize, I'm not very fast, but at least I'm here.
I was an MI5 agent, special agent. That's my only, I know I'm not an armchair detective, but I was an agent for MI5. Really, I was. True. I didn't say I was former MI5. I said I was former. It's a joke. MFI is a furniture company. They can't take a joke. They're saying I was former MI5. I've never been in MI5. This is an entertainment channel. I'm a comedian. I haven't been a professional investigator. I did work for MI5 as an operative and an agent sometime in the past. Can't find him. It's probably been chucked out. Been killed. They say I sung "Burn, Baby, Burn" about.
Sure, that Bella wasn't.
I say that. I don't even want to think that. But that. So why would I call myself an amateur detective then pretend? I haven't been a professional investigator. I did work for MI5 as an operative and an agent.
Okay, as you can guess, I touched the wrong button, but he most definitely did claim that he was an MI5 agent.
Yep.
An operative, an agent. He did work for them.
Yeah, didn't he first try to say that he meant MFI or whatever, that furniture
MFI,
company?
yeah, he still does to this day. He
Right.
still does.
And then he moved on to, it was just a joke. It's like, no, there wasn't a joke. So does that mean that every time you say that's the truth, that means you're joking? Because we'll go back and we'll go through all your friggin' videos and we'll find all the times where you said that's the truth. So if that means that you're joking or you're lying or something, because that's how you ended that sentence, was it's the truth. And the whole furniture thing, you're not an agent working at a furniture store. So that was a stupid excuse.
And an operative doesn't work at a furniture store either. An operative and an agent. He tricked his subs. They believed him. And that's what he wanted. He wanted fame and grandiosity. And one thing I've just discovered is, I'd mentioned it before, about his finances back in June of... I put 22 there, but I'm not sure. Regardless, this one, yeah, this one was, and this was when he was getting 10,000 every month. Yeah, 10,000 or more than 10,000. I don't know if I've got the year before. Oh, I think I might. Yeah, there we go. How can you disagree with these figures? Patreon, $1,500 at conservatively $10 each. Now, at the time, he had a lot of really, really supportive subs, and they were paying more than that. You know, a lot of them, some of them would even pay $50 a month or whatever. Monetization at that time, he'd got approximately 3,700 for the views he got, because it was doing well back then. Super chat, 3 weeks in March, he got 3,000. Yeah, I didn't have the full month, but basically 2,500. Now add that together, and that's 2,100. Add his income from the Red and Green channel, add his pension, and he very likely was making between 25 and 30,000. So anybody who wants to dispute those figures, go right ahead, because you cannot really dispute. And to go on after that and start begging that you weren't making any money, it's the agenda. I think he is guilty of abusing the family, and actually not just that family, the other families. He's guilty of that, but he's also guilty of having an agenda to get money at any expense, and that's what makes it our business. If he was to, sit back and just, be normal, but he's not. He's not. Okay, back to me thingy. Unless you have any comments. I realize you're busy there, Shirl.
Nope, actually, it kind of slowed down. I'm good now. Nope, I don't have any comments at the moment.
Okay, and I really appreciate you being here. You know that, right?
Yes, that's fine.
Because it would be silly if I was on my own.
You do fine.
Yeah, I tried it once and it was like, and I never like watching back. People say, oh, I never like watching myself. And I'm thinking, well, why not? Don't you want to go back to check, what you're doing? And especially when you do the live. And I figured, I don't know. I have actually gone back and looked at some and thought, oh my goodness, is this what people have to put up with? But that's another story. So let's go and this is like much simpler than it used to be. So share and
sometime in the past.
Can't find him. It's probably been chucked out. Here's the big clue. What's my name? Armchair detective. What's an armchair detective? An amateur. So why would I call myself an amateur detective, then pretend I was in the English Secret Service? So anyway, when I do the live, to break the ice, I go, it's good to be here tonight. I used to be an MI5 agent. Oh no, I mean MFI agent. I used to sell furniture for FBI, you see? MI5, FBI. MFI was the joke. It's a British shop. It was so cheap, like IKEA furniture, but rubbish.
oh, geez.
So you get it home, right? And you try to put it together. There's always a bit missing. I used to sell this stuff. Embarrassing. So they put it up and fall to bits. Fall to bits. Rubbish. And like the wood is rubbish. Anyway. So I made a play on a joke that I am an agent for MFI. And I changed it to, I could change it to FBI, or I could change it to MI5. Different ones, which I felt like on that night, the number of live shows. So everybody laughs. I say, yeah, this is a punchline. This is the punchline. It may not be funny to you, but at the time, on stage, in front of people to break the ice. I say, yeah. So I used to be an agent for MI5. I mean FBI. I mean MFI. But I had to give it up because all my cases kept falling to pieces. I know it's not a great joke, but you've got cases falling to pieces. It's a joke. Please, America, don't keep telling me I'm pretending to be MI5. I'm not. It was a joke. Taken out of context.
Nope, it wasn't.
I said, like, I'm a MI5 agent. And they just show that bit, not the rest of the joke. Not fair, is it? It's called misrepresentation, isn't it?
Oh, gee.
I was an MI5 agent, special agent. That's my only, I know I'm not an armchair detective, but I was an agent for MI5. Really, I was. True. I'm sorry for the confusion. I know a lot of people in America think I said MFI, FBI, or whatever, anything you like, but it was actually MFI. Monty Python's sense of humor. Sometimes Americans don't get it. When I say I'm I was in MFI, you all think I was in FBI or something. I'm just joking. And sometimes people don't understand that I'm joking, but it's just like Ricky Gervais, really. I'm sort of like him. I'm like him. Just look at me as a minor Ricky Gervais.
Stop it.
That's what you think. But must have. MFI, the worst furniture ever. I used to work for MFI. And I got people reporting me to MI5 saying I was an imposter, saying I was pretending I was MI5. It was a joke. Doesn't matter.
No, it
There
doesn't.
we are.
But just don't deny it. Don't deny
MFI
them.
flat pack furniture, like IKEA. And I said, I got the sack from MFI because all my cases fell to bits. The furniture was so crap, it fell to bits. So I used to do live shows, and I made everybody laugh. Oh, yeah, MFI rubbish falls to bits. So all my cases fell to bits. And they actually thought I said I was in MI5, and they wrote to the Queen and that. They wrote to Parliament about me.
What?
They started a petition about me.
Oh, he does
Sorry,
like to pick
51.
himself up, doesn't he?
I did work for MI5 as an operative and an agent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just put
Sometime in the past.
line here.
Okay, well, what I heard was it was all the Americans that didn't get the joke. So all of you people that are not Americans, clearly you guys got the joke and you forgot to tell us, because he was saying it's the Americans. Americans don't understand the humor and oh Jesus. No,
yeah, but
the thing is that his subs at the time, and this is when he was starting to gear up and get a lot of subs for the Watts case, they believed it. They believed it. Well, at least they outwardly believed it, the ones in the chat. Like, I can't believe every one of the people believed it. Probably were like kind of side-eyeing him going, come on, I really like you, AD, but that's kind of ridiculous. But of course, they couldn't say that. So they're like, okay, we're going to let this one slide because, that's what you do for people that you like and they say something outrageous. But that was just the beginning. That was the beginning. I'm assuming you have the Tammy Lee stuff coming up, right?
I don't know. I didn't realize I'd put so many of these in a row.
Oh, okay.
So I do apologize, but I mean, if you want to get it ingrained, but what got me was that, can you imagine MI5, MFI advertising for an operative? I wonder what they get.
Well, and he did say he said he got fired from MFI because of the cases that he had, because it was crap furniture. And so he's still trying to cases. Is that what it's called when you put together a chair? It's like, okay, you have 6 cases today to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Well, what I want to know is he's talking like he's been a stand-up comedian.
Yes, that too.
Not everybody is a comedian, just like Ricky Gervais, right? How many times has he been doing it? I know of the one time in Western Supermare where Mike went and he had Colin Sutton. Maybe Mike can tell us if he told that joke. Actually, it's on tape. I wonder. But yeah, he makes it out like every time he does a stand up, he tells that joke. And no, you're not stepping on there. No. Okay.
It wasn't a joke then. It's still not a joke. He got caught trying to say shit. And back then he was saying crazy stuff. Like I said, talking to, trying to portray that Tammy Lee was about ready to join the chat. And then he said, no, that was just a joke too. It's like everything that he gets called out for back then was a joke.
Oh, there's more that's a joke. I've got some more. And as I say, I don't know if I added the Tammy Lee one. We can have another one of these with whatever, and we'll make sure we do. Let's see what, and I can't tell what's coming next. So this is why it's not very professional.
It's like a Christmas live. We just never know what's coming up.
No. And we never sit and discuss it even. I think we had 2 minutes before we went live. I didn't know what I was just had the basics. So, but anyway, we've got the thingy here.
You see that comment?
His 26 million subs. I can't read the rest.
He said with Colin. His 26 million subs, he said with Colin.
Oh, they called the Queen. Yeah. Yeah. He got 30,000 of his subs during a couple of months when with the Shadows. 30,000 subs. And he now has like 80, like after 4 years. So for the other 4 years, he's only got, well, who knows how much he actually gains every month, because he gains a lot and then he loses a lot. But no, he hasn't got 100,000 subs. And if he's got 2 or 3 channels, all the same subs are on the same ones. So I mean, and most of them, obviously, if he's only getting a couple of thousand views, a lot of them aren't subs, they're just viewing, and whatever.
On television many times in poker. Poker's a game of skill. It's not roulette where you just gamble. It's a game of life where you analyze people, tell when they're lying, look at weak players, strong players, aggressive people. It's a fantastic thing, poker. I learned a lot from poker about crime.
Oh, I love
Where's
this.
the players?
Just need some players.
Who will we have coming to the table? Tell us.
New
tell
feature
us.
table. In 1's going to be Richard Williams. In 2, Katie Swift. In 3, Greg Murphy. In 4, Sim Mellin. In 5, Stephen Hawes. In 6, Tim Chung. In 7, Vikram Digpal. In 8, James Clark. And in 9 is Alan Vinicum.
Alan Vinicum.
What's the
All
other
in
chap's
Vin.
face?
From years and years ago. He went to America to solve crimes. It was on TV. Did a TV program. You know that? He was like a real crime detective.
Like private investigator.
No. He was like a real crime detective. And Alan Vinicum and his son started playing as well, didn't he? Yeah, Alan Vinicum. Good old Alan. Good to see him at the tables.
Okay, I'm not sure what this is. Hang on. Okay, let me just go back here. Yeah,
That other guy's face was like, WTF? What?
Yeah, I know, that's what made me laugh, because the Tower, he's like, yeah, did he go to America?
And went on TV? Solved cases?
Went on TV, yeah.
What?
And that's probably what he told him. That's probably, but that was way back. You know, that was back in the day. That wasn't recently. He hasn't told them that recently, because he said we haven't seen him for a long time. But, or, you know, previous, whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, that makes me laugh every time I see it. It's the chap's face that does it.
He like got whiplash, whipping his head like, what?
Oh my. Okay, I'm not sure what the next one was. I'm just going to have a quick peep first.
Okay.
Looks like I might have, like, I have used a couple of videos that have been put out, and I obviously didn't edit very well, but Okay, if I've got it in here, hopefully it's okay. And whoever's video it is,
It's a campaign of hate to make me look bad
truth
on a permanent
justice.
basis because I'm doing too good.
I hope you don't mind me using it,
80,000 supporters.
TJ.
They've got lucky if they get 1,000 supporters. The only reason anybody listens to young F is because he had a fortunate enough to have a murder in his family. Otherwise, he'd be a nobody. No, he's not ashamed. He's proud. He loves it. He loves the attention he's getting. We've seen through you, Frank. We're done feeling sorry for you. It doesn't work anymore. You couldn't play that card forever. Do you honestly think the rest of your life you could just sit in social media raising money? You can't go on about taking someone to court when you've got a record that Frankie's got. Have you seen what he's done?
Disgusting.
Jesus. He wants to take me to court. I just show him what his record is. Everything you do, I will do twice back from now on. Honestly, if I was going to shut up, because I'm pushed too far now, Frank. You pushed too far. I protected you over that picture that was around. I got it taken down. I protected over you about while you were in prison. I protected you over that. I never tell anybody. But you're pushing me too far. At least the idiot guy in Norway has only got 1,000 people no one listen to him. Frank's got 40,000 people, and he's putting it on his community page where I live, Frank. You're telling 40,000 people where I freaking live. Don't you understand that, you stupid man? You're an accessory to a possible murder. And I'm not saying that lightly. I know there's crazies outside my door. I don't know, maybe anybody got a lawyer in America that can help me? Maybe there's a lawyer in America that could do a pro bono for me. I don't know, because I definitely wouldn't. They got 450K. They soon stop. If they thought their 450K was at risk, they would stop hating me, wouldn't they? Instantly. I've got to protect myself. I've got to do what I do to protect myself. I've got to shut him up. I'm done with him. He has to shut up. You can't, with you Australian lawless man, come and get me. I haven't done anything. Perhaps you should have another GoFundMe, but you better raise $500,000. I don't think your next GoFundMe won't raise anything because I will be against it next. I said nothing when you did it last time. This time I'll be against your next GoFundMe, 100%. And so are my 80,000 supporters. We won't let you do another GoFundMe. We won't let you. Try it. I've never enticed hate against him. He entices hate against me every day of his life.
Doesn't he learn?
Game's up, Frank. Where's the money? Where's the money? Oh, COVID. I'm going to do it after COVID. You might forget about it. No, I won't forget about it. You don't need COVID restriction to come after me. Get your lawyer to write to me. His get out jail free card's gone. Wow, I mean totally wrong.
Can you pause that for a second?
I mean,
yeah.
I just want to point out how many billions of times this man, his mods, his subs have constantly said, you have never said a disrespectful thing about that family. You have always been respectful. You have always been just trying to find justice for them. You have never said anything disrespectful about. Did we just not hear a shit? Like he actually accused him of possibly taking part in the murder, and that's not disrespectful. He's telling him he's a stupid idiot. That's not disrespectful. Again, he's still to this day is saying, I've never said a disrespectful thing about that family. And we all know that have been watching him for 4 years, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the shit that he has said.
Yeah, he's also accused Sandy of being involved.
And Nicole
in the morning.
And Nicole Atkinson. Yep. He's accused all of them. And he's gone for Frankie so hard. And he has said very disrespectful things, but he tells his new subs, I've never said, all I've done is try to find justice for that family and for Shanann and then Bella. And he always uses all the names, you know, because that makes him sound important. So again, I just had to point that out because to this day, he's claiming and I see his subs in his chat going, I've never heard you say anything disrespectful. Like, what? Do your ears not work? Because he has done.
They've just been there a week.
Huh?
They've just been there a week. That's all.
Well, true. Right. Just like him saying, I'm not even doing the Watts case. Again, we have tried to tell him 1,000 times. For a lot of us, it's not even about the Ruseks. It's about what you do to victims' families. And he went on to do it again when he stopped talking. All the I wasn't really watching him, but I had watched, you know, some of the channel's videos. He was doing the same thing with that girl's family and making accusations. And this is just what he does. This is why most of us want him stopped. It's not just about the Ruseks. You know, he seems to think that, okay, I'm not talking about them. You all go away. That's not the point. You're a disgusting human being who uses other people's tragedies to make money, and even your own family. And that's even more disgusting, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's just horrible. And thank you for bringing that up, Shirley. I probably wouldn't have remembered to say that. You know, it's and certainly, you know, stop me. I kind of want to focus on watching each clip at a time, but I can't remember the order they're in or whatever. But, you know, like that, if you've got something to say, just tell me to stop. I don't know what's...
Okay.
Oh, okay, this is something to do with the book.
They thought the book was going to make like $1 million so you can come and sue me for the book. I've made no. I'll get bubbles on if you want. I haven't made a penny out of that book, not one penny. I've lost money.
We know why.
In fact, today I was doing reordered books, sending them out with my own money because they got lost in the post. The post office, the whoever delivers the post around the world are rubbish. Either some of them steal my book or lose my book, COVID my books, whatever. I've had to send another 20 off today. Yeah. And if you're waiting for your book, I sent a lot off today.
I mean, the post is really bad usually, isn't it?
And I apologise for the delay, but that's just by the way. Anyway, okay, you lot. How many of you have got this? Because you're going to need this tonight. I want you all to take notes. You are my study group.
Oh, the study group. Jeez.
We don't work with any other creators. We work alone.
But the thing is, Shirley, I was going to mention earlier, that documentary money, he decided that he was going to use it to get more pens and pads and things.
Yeah.
Get your pens and
we work on facts. And I don't want to be part of a channel that makes things up to get views. No. I would love to see a picture of the mistress coming out of the house off Nate's CCTV. That would change the case. And whoever finds that, I would credit them every day for a month.
No,
because that person will rescue me from this predicament I am with the
predicament of claiming
if I had a picture that proved that she walked out of the house. Wow.
There is no proof.
So if you do have that photo, please send it to me. If you do have a copy of that photo,
he's asking Dave, isn't
send it to me now. Because I've got 35k over my head to take me to court. And it would stop it instantly. So if you got the photo, anybody out there, of NK coming out of the house, or you got the equipment to do that, I think it would be only fair that you send it me. Because you can't trust the police. For sure. No alerts to a dead body on the bed where she was supposed to have been killed. No. No blood. No DNA.
That reminds me of another thing.
Yeah.
The coded messages. that he was getting from the police and the district attorney. They were sending him coded messages to keep digging for the truth. And then when they did not the documentary, but the show on the ID channel, I think is what it was. I don't know. It was Tammy Lee sending him messages. You're on the right track, AD. Keep doing, like, what the hell is he smoking?
Well, that's an issue that I'm not sure if everybody fully understands. But at one point, David Carter had asked for the investigation against Nicole Kessinger. And being the professional that she is, Tammy had said, okay, they had to go through the whole process to eliminate her after his request. But AD used it like, yeah, they've kind of reopened it. They're gonna, they really do see something that she's involved in, blah, blah, blah. Of course, once they completely exonerated her, that never came out.
Yeah, she explained it, I think, if I remember right, something to the effect of, it's their duty to follow up on tips like that. He made an official tip about supposedly this confession. So it was their duty to follow up. It didn't mean that the case was being reopened, but of course AD portrayed it that way. And of course he was the one that, spearheaded that. And it was a bunch of crap.
Yeah. As Oliver said, he wasted her time. He wasted everybody's time. Again, I don't know what's coming up next. I hope this is okay. If there's any point you think it's getting too much, we can stop and do some later.
Okay. Well, I put some comments up. Yeah, the coded messages. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. He had solved the case. Work just couldn't publicly give him the credit he deserved. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just so you know, Mike's in the chat too.
Oh, hi, Mike. I don't know what this next bit. One of his favorite things was, and this is all part of the theory that nobody died in the house. And he says we've had, professionals that claim that nobody died in the house. So we know that. What happened one day, he had the CSI lady on. And it was, I'm not sure if it was a patron or not. I think it was a patron. And the CSI lady was babbling on about something which she was totally wrong with. And so Jeff Young, the dog handler that he'd had on the previous Christmas, going through, that was when the other issue, he saw it and he jumped on to correct her. She disappeared. And so Jeff spent an hour, I think it was approximately an hour, going through everything with AD. And at the end of it, AD deleted him. He told him he was going to separate it into two things, but no, there's no way he did that. He deleted it. And I mean, because he didn't fit with the agenda. Now you just watch. This is AD actually agreeing the possibility that somebody died in the house. Not sure about this next bit, but it's there.
Are you looking for it still? Because it's not playing.
Oh. Okay. I've got it playing back here, but okay. Let's redo this. It's good that you're there because I would really screw up.
You would have been just sitting there watching and watching everybody.
I'm watching, yeah. Oh dear. Share. Actually, I think. Can you see it?
Yes.
And I'm sticking with that.
We had a independent dog handler come on and watch the film with me. Well, I didn't. Younger AD did when I was him, and the dog handler said nobody died in the house. There's no alerts. So all those years ago, I told you guys no one died in the house. No one believed me, but I was right.
Killed. He strangled Shirley on the bed.
Okay.
And
upstairs
then
or is that upstairs?
Upstairs in a bed. Surely there'd be some smell on there.
You know, in the linens and stuff, there, I would think there would be. Depends how, you know, if he wrapped her up in the linens and then took her down in that, that would have taken the smell of that immediate death. That probably would have taken that with, you know, the body. So unless, you know, there was some dripping or of body fluids or something like that.
So there is a possibility that he could have killed Shanann, got her out without any smell for the dogs.
Could be.
Yeah, he's agreeing.
And the dog handler said nobody died in the house. There's no alerts. So all those years ago, I told you guys no one died in the house. No one believed me, but I was right.
Handler said that nobody died in the house.
That's right.
And I'm sticking with that.
We had a independent dog handler come on and watch the film with me. Well, I didn't. Younger AD did when it was independent dog handler come on and watch the film with me. Well, I didn't. Younger AD did when I was him, and the dog handler said nobody died in the house. There's no alerts. So all those
even killed in the house. There's no alerts to anybody being killed in the house. I know it's hard for you to take that from me, but that's what my dog handlers say.
Killed. He strangled Shanann on the bed.
Okay.
And
upstairs or is that upstairs?
Upstairs in a bed. Surely there'd be some smell on there.
You know, in the linens and stuff there. So unless, you know, there was some dripping or of body fluids or something like that.
So there is a possibility that he could have killed Shanann, got her out without any smell for the dogs.
Could be. Could be. Yep.
So, you know how...
Don't you hate it when your own guest disputes you?
Well, yeah, he did it on other things too. He was funny. He caught AD out saying something that he didn't like dogs. And he said, no, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. And, you know, he wouldn't hear it. But he deleted that. That was his agenda. It ruined his theory, and he couldn't afford to let it go, to change it. That would have meant he would have had to have changed everything he said. So rather than that, he disrespectfully deleted a professional guest, probably one of the only guests he's had that was really good. And and Jeff was a bit miffed about that.
Yeah.
So
there was he was a little the gate guy. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah.
He was.
What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah, he was upset. He had been on there a couple times, and Alan, I have no idea. I think it's because I'm reading the chat and everybody's saying Alan. I never use his first name because that gives him humanity, and I don't believe he has any. But AD even put him in the book and kind of, you know, exaggerated or lied, we'll just say lied, about some of the conclusions that he came to. Well, I don't remember who got in touch with him. I think several people got in touch with him going, hey, did you know that you're being talked about in this book and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't like that. So according to AD, that was, again, the trolls, because they had to pull that his book back and take out all the references to that guy, because he said
he denied.
Yeah,
because he said he'd stand up for him in court, and he wrote it.
Oh yeah. He was willing to go to court and testify to all of this, because AD was going to get a new trial. Again, we have to say, he kept always saying he was going to get a new trial. There was never a trial, so there's no new trial. He pled guilty, so there is no new trial.
Yeah,
just had to say that.
And regarding the book, for those that are not aware, I mean, he complains he didn't make any money out of the book. No, he didn't. And the reason is, well, as far as I know, he didn't. The reason is he started off with one book that was uploaded, and throughout a short period of time, Nicole knows more about this than Nicole Morgan. Within a short period of time, he uploaded, it was probably his admin, uploaded
it was Bubbles.
And I think at one time there was 3 different VIN numbers. VIN number, is that for a car? The equivalent. BIN, that's it. That's it for books. Because vehicle ID,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And book ID. Okay, now I've got it. Just figured that one out. And so there was 3 uploaded, and then she kept re-uploading, and they were carefully manipulated, so they weren't exactly the same. They were different, and so it wasn't caught that there was 3 uploaded. But because I think Nicole found it, maybe others realized what was happening, that he was getting like 2 or 3 different books in there. I think it was 2 at the time. Anyway, Nicole phoned because she's an author and she's familiar with all this kind of stuff. Apparently, he was guilty of fraud. They brought the fraud department in on it, and that's what they recognized as fraud, because they'd changed the book, not the title, the little blurb underneath it, I think, and that's the identifying mark for when, I don't know if the algorithms go through or whatever. So it kind of didn't get picked up because the little blurb under the title was changed, and it was under 2 different bin numbers. The fraud squad,
Fraud squad.
The fraud people decided that surprisingly they allowed him to stay on with one. They took the other one down, but what that meant, he had to pay back approximately $2,500 in royalties.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wasn't happy about that.
And wasn't there one where some pictures were used that he wasn't authorized to use, so they had to take those out?
Yeah, there was so much that went wrong with that.
Yeah,
and
that was a mess. That was a mess.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, you have to know what you're doing. But of course, they didn't want to spend money. I think ultimately they either did it themselves or went to a vanity publisher. And I think the proof is in the pudding that when our lovely Ben Salmon passed away, he'd written a book, and maybe a lot of people, they would know him from in here. He wrote a book, and I wanted to see if we could get it published, and through Nicole, he told me his dream was for me to be able to read it physically, read his story physically, which I still plan on doing. getting an actual copy and sitting outside and reading it. But the difference, and going through what Nicole went through, it just shows if they'd have spent the money they were receiving on some real good help, the book would have gone seamlessly. They paid the price. Okay, so going on to the next. Oh, good grief. You recognize this one? No, you can't see it. I can. Oh, dear. This is begging. Begging in the first degree. Can you see it okay?
Yes.
For what? I hope you understand what I'm doing. Thank you. If you can't afford it, patron, which I understand, $5 a month is not a lot of money, but it is to some people. If you particularly can't raise $5 a month, I'm not really sure that's true, because you can buy a cup of coffee, you can buy a packet of cigarettes, you can buy, instead of buying that pack of cigarettes, then tune into me for a month. It's $1 a week. I don't really get the argument if you can't afford it, but if you can't afford it, and Dennis, thank you. Let's hear that. That's lovely. Super chat. Thank you. You don't know the endless hours I've poured over this. You don't know how many things I've got to juggle, right? A letter from Massachusetts sent by a psychic. Now, in America, they're good, the police. They take notice of lie detectors. And they do use psychics. I'm going to read this to you. It's so accurate. It's unbelievable. Great start to the film. Files. A letter from Massachusetts sent by a psychic. Now, in America, they're good, the police. They take notice of lie detectors. Keep showing this. People are asking me to show it again. I'm finished with this now. We're moving on. If you want to know more about this, join Patreon now and join us there in half an hour. If you want to
Teletubby, right?
continue this discussion, you need to join Patreon. Yes, it's $5 a month. So what? Get your $5 out and talk to me there.
And then find out the Teletubby's a garbage bag.
If you're broke and you can't afford $5, how are you paying for your phone? If you're broke and you can't afford $5, how are you paying for your internet? And if you haven't got $5 in a whole month to spare, then you are broke. I agree. That's true. I can't help you. Sorry.
Shirley and I's got it. Got the ring. Lisa Lamb wave. Vanilla pods. Super chat. Bad news is, you bunch of letdowns, you haven't got me to be monetized yet. I asked you to watch me. And do you know what? I've checked up on you. And all those people there, all of you, right? I forgot, look. Yeah, you're not watching me. I asked you to please watch me and get my hours up so I can be monetized like the trolls. And you all promised me, oh, yeah, Vanilla Pod, we will watch 24 hours a day. You haven't done it. It's all rubbish. You haven't watched me for 24 hours. I've looked today. I haven't moved. I will get 4,000 hours. It's only moved about 100 hours. What's the matter with you? Why tell me you're going to watch me 24/7 and then not do it? Who's going to own up and admit you haven't done what you said? Yeah, rewatch. I asked you to put my hours up. I need 4,000 hours to get monetized like the trolls, so I can buy. Otherwise, Winston's going to take over the channel again because I can't afford to buy him steak. I promised him if we get monetized, I'll spend the money on steak for him, right? But you haven't done it. You promised Winston and I you would do 10 hours a day. Yeah. No, you haven't done it. Shaz has owned up. Thank you, Shaz. At least someone's prepared to come clean and say, yeah, I haven't done it. It's no good just watching this 1 hour now. That ain't going to get me monetized. You've got to watch 10 hours a day. Yeah, you might love Winston. If you want him to have steak, you need to start watching. Didn't know what I meant. Oh, right. What it means is you have to watch it for longer.
It's not hard, is it? All right, I'll put it in simple terms, layman's terms. Watch this channel repeats.
Now this, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. This, terms of service, it was written in his Facebook group. If I can read it. Sadly, we have suffered quite a loss this week. There was an exodus of members and AD was extremely stressed over this. It's not helping his blood pressure. That is for sure. AD makes the living through Patreon. If you would like to help AD, you might consider this gift of upping your Patreon. But please do not drop out of Patreon and cause or encourage any inaccurate measurements of genuine user engagement with the service. That may be the wrong one that I put in. That's always possible, but what he was doing was having everybody tell everybody to just watch, and it was written in there in his Patreon, but I think in his Facebook, I think I used the wrong one there. Okay, before we go any further. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'll be back in a sec. Okay. Okay. Are you there, Shirley?
I am.
Okay. So what do you say on timing? We've done 2 hours. Would you like, and we're only about halfway through those things. So would you prefer to do maybe another couple and come back another time to do the rest, or what?
Well, let's ask the chat. I mean, if they're up for it. Do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to do another one where we can, because there's so much to touch on, right?
Oh, yeah, and I've still got the source to come up to. We can learn all about the source. And you know darn well, Shirley, this is another technique. You always ask them because they always say, yes, 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 yes.
So Carrie says, keep going. Suzanne says, keep going. It's Friday. Sarah says, keep going. Hershey says, keep going. Guernsey Girl says, keep going.
Okay. I tell you what, I want to ask you a favor. I'm going to play the next one. It's the long one, but I just need a few minutes. So if I put the long one on and I disappear.
Well, Sandy Blue asked if we could have a potty break. So maybe we could put some comments up on screen, or if anybody has any particular subjects, you go do what you need to do, and then everybody else if they need to. But you know, again, there's so many things to touch on. If anybody has anything that they want to specifically talk about, we could take like a few minute break so some people can go get a drink.
If that's okay. I'm free for whatever. This is my Friday night out.
Yeah, I know.
So, okay, if that's okay with you, I can I do know that the next one goes for about 15 minutes of him moaning and going on about the monetization, which I wasn't going to play right the way through, but it's an opportunity for me to run off for a sec.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go through some of the whatever you want to do,
I'll do that.
The floor is yours.
Okay. And just to be clear, in case somebody's just now listening, We're not saying that people can't make money on YouTube. That's what it's about for a lot of people. Make all the money you want, but the lies and the conning and the guilting, and even where he just said there a minute ago, where he was saying, you know, if you can't afford $5, but I don't believe that, basically trying to shame them into it. I mean, that's the kind of
it's just
stuff.
disgusting. Yeah. If you can afford a packet of cigarettes, if you can afford this, you can afford to pay me.
Right.
Like,
it's
that total attitude. That's what gets us with the money, not if somebody else is making money.
Yeah.
If, you know, it can be hard work doing, you know, on YouTube, doing research and stuff like that, whatever. It's not about that. Not that he does any research, so he doesn't even, he gets everybody else to do his work. Everybody. I mean, like I said before, it's wrong. And we have had actually mods, admin mods who have left. And we had them on a live a little while ago, and they both were in therapy afterwards once they got out and realized what was happening. And one of them was just in kind of short term, but the other one, she was in therapy for quite some time and still cannot get over it. They still cannot believe. And I don't know if either of them are in here tonight, but very well respected admin mods, and they couldn't handle it. So I'm just going to pop off for a bit. I'll be back. A couple of minutes. You're in charge, Shirl. Do your thing. Do the Shirley thing. I won't miss.
Okay, that's right. One of the things I was thinking of, and I hope, is Mike still here? Go do your thing, Lizzie. I'm just filling in time talking.
Yeah, but I've got that thing that Kerry has, the FOM.
Oh, FOMO?
I've got the FOMO. And you're asking for Mike, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what's she going to do? What's she going to say?
No, I was thinking, you know, a funny thing is, because it was brought up earlier, like the AD-isms, like the words that he can't say, like major. He says manger. The newest thing that I've noticed is he doesn't say Dehan, he says Diem, talking about Martin. All of his. So I know everybody, a lot of the people in chat, if you could put some of your favorite AD-isms in there, because again, you know, we hear that he can't spell, he can't talk, he can't write, he can't read, all of it due to his dyslexia. So, you know, and we all know that most of that is bullshit, right? It has nothing to do with it.
Well, the thing is, I think the prize one, the video I've got of him with the mango.
Mango?
Oh, okay. You don't recall that? Instead of a mango, his mum used to wash it for.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You all need a mango.
So go do what you're doing. I'm just going to put these up on the screen as I see them. Oh yeah, here's he's been defamed. And some of it is it's just so funny. Mike has been saying for years now he wants to write a little AD dictionary. I would love that, because there's just so many. I can't even remember what they all are. Some of them are just aneurysms instead of algorithms. Yep. Did I put this one up? Tough for tooth. Manger Tom. Yeah, that's the one that always sticks out in my head. Manger Tom. Just, oh yeah, this is a good one. Broom Hoover. I mean, it's not good, but it's a good one. Oh yeah, this one. Yes, they're impregnating the. See, some of these I forgot completely about. Oh wow. Yep, I've been defamed. And hi to anybody that's just coming in. We're just taking a little break. Lizzie had to go do something, so And of course, right now is when there's tons of noise outside my house. So I apologize if you can hear all that. Well, yes, he does refuse to call any channel by their real channel name. That's always been his thing. He's always said he'll talk for hours about the hate channels and the trolls, but then say, I'm not going to say their names. We have heard from ex-mods who have said that they were specifically told to not go look at those channels. I mean, why these grown-ass adults listen to them, I don't know, but that's not part of this discussion. So a lot of them, according to them, they had no clue exactly about what was being debunked. And I'm sure that the subs were the same way. Impregnating channel. Oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah, that was, what's this one? Transparency. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was taking a few notes because my brain's been all over the place the past week. Gang stalkers. Of a few things. I didn't know what Lizzie was going to talk about, but the illegal thing. Anybody that's listened to him more than 5 minutes, it's everything to AD is illegal. I don't know if anybody's noticed that other than me. Maybe you have. Everything is illegal. They're saying this and it's illegal. Send us money. Send me money. I need to fight these trolls. It's illegal. It's illegal. Everything's illegal. Yeah, it's ridiculous. He has cried about being clapped in irons and is now threatening to clap it. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of safe to say we're all kind of sick and tired of hearing about how everybody's going to end. I mean, it just sounds like all of YouTube is going to end up in jail at some point because everything is illegal and everybody's going to have handcuffs and go to prison. And Lizzie's back.
I came back. I figured I'm gonna try a pop. I know I shouldn't, but hopefully it doesn't work the same way as beer does.
Who's Oh, I know who that is. Okay, made fun of being vertically challenged. Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of other things. I mean, we all know his fascination with women and their hair. That's weird.
Well, I think that originated because he started making specific comments. And so he just kept it generic with hair.
Yeah, somebody put in the chat earlier, and it was during a video, so I couldn't highlight it. But there was a point in time. And where was it?
That was when the Frank and Frankie were in the chat, and he kept deleting them, and he blamed 250 trolls impregnating the channel.
No. Actually, I was gonna say where it's when he went to where he wasn't on Patreon anymore. He went to a different platform there for a minute when his Patreon was taken down. I can't remember what it was.
Vimeo.
Was it that one where he told everybody that he wanted them to put their real pictures up? He didn't want to look at the avatars anymore because
sorry, I lost.
Yeah, that's okay. He wouldn't be able to weed out, who the trolls were unless you actually put your real picture up. So that was definitely icky. Then there was the few times we had Roxy the racist on there, where she's putting information out and people were responding with their own personal. No, I'm actually I'm this old and I live in this state and I live in, putting all their personal information out on the friggin' internet. And
that was awful.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
And we could do nothing to stop it. It's not right. And they did it every Friday. She'd be on and they'd be checking out all the details of everybody, and it's not right.
Yeah. He wanted birth dates and stuff. I actually was one of them. I went in under one of my alts, and I actually got a reading. That woman couldn't have been more off. It was, yeah, I did. I got a reading. It was just a little less than when she told Silly Nana she was going to it was Silly Nana, right? That was going to be pregnant by the end of the year when the woman's like 60, 70 years old. So it was close to that. I mean, she had everything wrong. But of course I didn't tell her that. I was like, oh yeah, okay. Because wanted to keep it going. And I didn't want to, out my alt, but yeah, she was so wrong with everything. But I mean, is that a surprise to anybody that she wasn't really a psychic or a tarot card reader or any of that good stuff, right?
Yeah, she kind of disappeared into oblivion there.
Well, she had a lot of personal problems that came to light, and that's the thing. If you're going to be in such a controversial channel and you're going to be throwing stones at a whole bunch of people, maybe you should make sure your shit isn't out there for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did Sandy say here? Bubble said she had a list of everyone who donated to Frankie with the yes.
Yeah. Isn't that awful? I mean, well, the thing is, no, it's not bad to have a list of everybody, but the fact is we know that it was used. And the reason I believe, and I always have believed, that he does things with to get personal information. I mean, just recently on his GoFundMe or whatever, it was redirected somewhere else, so that he was able to get information before it actually went to the it used to collect it. When you checked that website, it was used to collect information. So anybody that was thinking they were going to the GoFundMe were actually getting redirected to a site that was collecting information. And I believe he's done this from the past in whichever way he can, collecting everybody's email addresses. And when he's down or he can contact everybody. I believe that's possibly or probably what he's doing.
Yeah, we know that he's done that in the past. He's contacted subs privately to request money. Summer spoke about that. She came out about that, about how he would do that with her. There's been a few others, but I don't know if they would. Miss
Sophia came online and she told exactly when he was away in Malta, he contacted her. She was happily married, but he didn't really know that, I don't think. And while he was in Malta, he contacted her because he needed extra money. Well, the story about Malta is that he went for 2 weeks, and I saw beforehand there was another poker tournament, the Poker Fest, which was like the following week. And so I'm guessing, and sure enough, he claimed that, it's really good for me here, never mind the time when the doctor ordered him to go abroad, but that's another one. So I'm staying another week. I'm doing really well here. What it was because he wanted to go to the other poker tournament. And I don't think even that his admin knew that that's what he was doing. And sure enough, he won a couple of thousand, whatever it was. But he did it deceitfully because he phoned probably not just Miss Sophia. He probably phoned a few to get more money so he could stay. Yeah, because it was the end of the month. And he didn't get paid until the end of the month. And the tournament, I think, started on the 30th or something. 30th, 31st, whatever.
It was awesome.
This is the whole thing. He's after money. That's the only thing he's after. He couldn't care less about anything else or hurting people's feelings. We've spoken to people that have donated a lot of money. I mean, a lot of them, they can't help it, but they are enamored with him, and so be it if that's the case. But he drops them. And I remember one in particular telling me, this was around the time he had his AD bar, where everybody was buying drinks, but what they were doing was sending super chat to buy a drink.
Yeah. There was the time remember when he lost his suitcase and he had all that really expensive cologne and his whole entire hat collection and all these fancy clothes, and people were sending him money to replace all that.
Yeah. I do believe that may have happened, but he did use the opportunity to, to beg. And
I mean, maybe he lost his luggage, but it was one suitcase. Is that the only clothes and cologne that he owns? But no, he was making it sound like I remember he said one bottle of cologne was like $50 or $75, and it's his favorite.
Creed. I don't know. It was Creed, whatever that costs. I don't know, but I certainly, well, never mind. Yeah, and as I was just saying, that woman who was enamored with him, I guess, as a lot are, and that's why they give him money. I mean, some don't, some just give it, and that's their prerogative. But what had happened with this particular woman is that she had really thought that she'd got his attention, and she was sending him money. And when he saw her picture, he dropped her. And she was so devastated. I mean, this is the hurt that he's done to a lot of people. And that's what he does. He just blocks. Look at, as you were saying, Summer. He dropped her, and then he said, well, you can come back under a different name. That's so that she could give him money. Yeah, I mean, exactly. She was devastated. They do go. Yeah, we do have the that one you're talking about, Guernsey Girl. I've actually, this one always makes me laugh. I just happened to catch it. Like, he does have a woman thing, no question. And I happened to catch this. He doesn't like powerful women.
No.
I don't like powerful women, I'll say
that. I just caught that. I thought, did I really hear that? And I went back and saved it. He doesn't like he has trouble with women.
Well, of course, because powerful woman would, even a not so powerful woman, just somebody with, a third grade education wouldn't put up with his shit.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. Did you sort out about all your words?
Yeah, we got some.
Great.
So what's this? What about when he cheated to use a private facility in a hotel? He wasn't resign. So that's that. Yeah, remember that one time where he was, huh?
Yeah, that's the bee woman one, right?
Yeah.
I could probably find it, but we'll save that. I'll make sure I put it on another one that we do. So we're getting close to seeing the source one, and I really want to go through that one.
Okay.
I certainly don't want to wait another week to be able to go through that one. So can we continue a little bit?
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone? Because, yeah. I was just going to say, I know you can have too much Lizzie, but then you've got Shirley, so we're okay.
Well, there's definitely a such thing as having too much Shirley. Trust me.
Oh, no. You're great. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I don't know how far ahead it is. This next one is him moaning and moaning and groaning about not being monetized, and it went on for like 15 minutes. I edited it accidentally. I can just cut it short. So and then we should be getting to the source, because that's one I really want to cover. No question on that. It's the look on his face that had me laughing. Can you see it, Shirley?
I can see it, but I try not to look at his face too long.
I'm sorry, I just accidentally hit on that one.
The dog, I've walked the baby, I've had a cup of tea, I've had all my medication, I've had this, I've had this, Cote d'Ivoire, I've had vitamin C, I've had the pills for my heart condition, high blood pressure. But I couldn't believe it this morning when I had a letter from YouTube. I asked for monetization for this third channel because I want it to work. This is my morning channel. I talk to my friends, right? And I see these other channels with less supporters than me getting paid. And I'm saying, hang on a minute, I am an artist. I'm an artist, and you treat me like a bum.
Because you are.
Hey, those idiots that make money out of calling me names. And yet
Nobody
you
gets paid calling names.
Comedian, an entertainer, and you're not paying me. And I've got 1,000 subs like them, but they're not paying me. You cannot pay me super chat. Try it. Try paying me now. Just try. I guarantee you can't pay me. This is victimization by the YouTube authorities. I have 1,000
awful
subscribers.
that you'd beg that desperate.
So I'm here in protest. High Priestess of Love gets paid for reading tarots. I don't get paid nothing for this channel. I agree, I've got other channels. But I want to grow this channel every morning. I want to be a comedian. I want to be like Vicky Gervais. I want to be an established UK comedian, right?
But we are laughing
They're holding
at
me
you.
back. They refuse to pay me. So I think, well, what's the frigging point of me going on mornings? I don't get paid. I might as well go into my big channel and talk about the what's this. No, I'm an artist. I want to be able to diversify. Please.
Have we had enough
let me
shop?
diversify.
Yes.
So,
okay. Don't know what's next.
Yeah.
But I
you
saw
only got
where
260
sources, it
subs.
was
I got
close to the end.
1,250. And look at you.
Try
There's only
this
19 of
one.
you there. It doesn't matter. There's 19. Cheer everybody up, my son.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was
no.
just once when he couldn't
An error
keep the
occurred.
channel going. It kept going out, and he was getting annoyed.
Hey, Winston, nothing's going to stop that.
Yes, they will. They did.
Supported me. I've no idea why it won't work at the moment.
Because you're an idiot.
So give it one more go. I don't like. Oh, I don't know. We're going to leave it there. Thank you for watching Armchair Detective. 4.5 hours. Marvelous. See you later tonight. Thank you, everyone. Morning, friends. Hope you're well. Monday morning, and up the lark. I've walked the dog. I've walked the baby. I've had a cup. Some of them. Cat lady. See?
That's the money he was making back in March of 2020 or 2021. Not sure. That's a lot of money, even for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
He got similar in the other months. I think that was the biggest month. It's hard to believe that you could make that much money on YouTube, right?
Yes, it's hard to believe that he can. It's not hard to believe that people do, but him. I just can't believe that there's that many gullible people so willing to part with their money for this person.
Why isn't it moving on? That was on for a long time. Could have had a bathroom break during that. No. Oh, I have. No, it's not on pause.
Does anybody remember the time Joe the cat told him to get Botox because Hollywood producers were watching? Oh, yes, that's right. She was going to get him an agent, or she was going to be his agent or some stupid shit like that. And, oh, geez. Yeah. And remember, she put him on that special diet, you know?
Oh, yeah.
where he couldn't drink his pop anymore. He had to drink bottled water. Oh, Jesus. Jeez.
Yeah, she was. But wasn't that around the time that he thought he was going to get up onto be famous?
Yes, yes. She had him convinced that there were, producers and stuff here in the U.S. who wanted to work with him, I don't know who was worse at that point. I don't know if she was just saying that to get in his good graces, or if she actually believed that. I mean, what we've come to know about her since then very well could have been she was just drunk.
Well, the thing is, I think it was something like Chrissy had got on it, so he figured he could get on it. But we get into another one that just makes you sick.
Okay.
This little boy, Carly Gousset's brother, he's pouring his heart out. And you just watch the reaction. And, oh.
She's probably sitting in a dark room in a chair, tied up, sitting there, dying of hunger, thirst, and light, and probably dead.
Poor little lad. Oh. He's thinking of his sister tied up for 2 years.
I think out of all the stuff that he's done through the years, that one thing makes me the most furious. And it's not just that when he cuts back to him, he's giggling, but he literally cannot stop himself from smirking. So he tries to cover his mouth with his hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's the one that makes me the most furious, where if I thought for even a second with all the other shit that he has done and said that there may be an ounce of humanity in that fucking body. Sorry, Lizzie. That yeah, I'm trying, but that
I've never heard that word before, right?
Especially not from me, right? But that right there's no humanity in him. Nothing about that even warrants that smirk, that smile, that giggle. And I know people sometimes do things, embarrassment or whatever, but nothing about that clip. What justifies that? It's other than a sick enjoyment out of watching somebody else, particularly a child, in pain.
Yeah, for any of us, just wants to make us cry. Oh, dear.
You want to show that again? You want to show that again?
Yeah.
Because I think that everything that we know about this man, everything that we've watched him do in the past almost 5 years is summed up right there.
And it's justified. How can they justify this? This is the thing. He does it. We spot it. We expose it. We claim to be gang stalkers and haters and trolls. And somehow his supporters can justify it. Like I say, with the Burn Baby Burn. Oh, it's just school kid stuff. Schoolboy stuff. Excuse me. Talking about a real life case with 2 little girls, 3 and 4, getting put in oil tanks. And he talks about it that way. And it's just schoolboy stuff. I mean, that's what gets me. And that was at the beginning of the video. So, and this, I mean, this poor kid, it makes you want to cry.
She's probably sitting in a dark room in a chair, tied up, sitting there, dying of hunger, thirst, and light, and probably dead.
Poor little lad. Oh. He's thinking of his daughter, his sister tied up for 2 years.
You didn't resume. Oh, what's the word? What's the word I'm trying to think of? Not resume. Never mind. This was just one in recently. I don't know what date, but it was current. Oh, to May the 7th. So just a month or two ago. Conservative estimate 10,000. Patreon, we don't know. He's probably had 200 or 300. He gets that every month. That's $10 approximately. So there you go. 25. And there's monetization, 3,000 for that month. Membership, estimate 300, $1,200. His paintings, we know that he sold 2, I think, for 700 in total. His PayPal, I mean, who knows how much he gets on PayPal? It's probably 1,000 plus. Nancy, during the last month, approximately 1,500. Super chat, 300. Merch, maybe 100. Coffee, 100. We don't really know. Conservative estimate, that was 10,000. And you know, during May, he was complaining. He didn't have any money. Yeah. Oh, I think I know what's coming up next. I think we have the Google search coming up next. Oh, I forgot to turn it on. Shirley, you're supposed to let me know stuff like that.
Sorry.
Okay. The filthy, whatever. The denials, the excuses, the lies about the disgusting search were typical of how he desperately tries to convince his subs to not believe it. But here is the fact. I doubt anyone would be troubled by adult porn, but this is very creepy choice, and many of his mods left at this time for obvious reasons. And we didn't say it was child porn, but it's, I doubt anyone would be troubled by adult porn, but this is very creepy. Oh, yeah. He claimed he was hacked. This is his excuse for it. He claimed he was hacked. And when he wasn't believed, he claimed it was research and more. Then he just hoped it would go away, and his current subs are probably unaware. And then he accidentally had genetic code in his bookmarks. She got a kick out of that. So. See, I'd put child porn, but I was wrong. I should go back and correct that.
Yeah, I can pull it out and show the people, But I do need permission. I wouldn't do it without asking, So I'm sure he'd be fine with it, but I need to know if he can hear me or see me. I'll pick it out. I'll find it anyway. In the meantime. Because that would be of interest, wouldn't it, right?
I would think so. I mean, it was interesting footage that they had, and it's actual footage and video instead of just a couple pictures.
What did they actually film?
I know they went to the house, so they filmed around the front, and then they drove around the back and filmed. I believe they drove out to Surrey. I'm trying to think of when it was.
Can you have a word with Patron, tell them all to come here? Because I'm miles away from joining Patron.
Yeah.
They might as well come into here. Could you just write that in Patron for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's get Robbie's film up. I think it's worth a look. While we wait for the drone footage.
Oh, I'm sorry, this must have been the extended version. Oh, this is... This is in memory of Diane. Diane Hughes was the lady that discovered the shadows. And AD made a lot of money from this.
They converge. Look under the car. Look under the car. Look under the car. They converge, and what picks up the small shadow. I better watch it, but I think I found that one of the children was still alive.
And truth be told, Val put this out. I hope those that I've used don't mind me doing this.
I was a member of Armchair to check his Facebook page, and so I sent my video and my phone lines to AD, asking if he could see what I could see. I got no reply, and so I sent it again. I still got no reply. Computer went down right before Christmas. Imagine my surprise when I got my computer fixed and went onto AD's channel and saw him bragging about how he had found the shadows and how he's got 30,000 subscribers.
But they can't understand it. Why the Armchair Detective's got nearly 30,000 subscribers in 4 months. That's why. What's he doing? What's he doing? He found the shadows. That's what he did.
No one saw it. Not one person. I found the shadow under the truck.
Keep your eye on the shadow by the wheel. And that was the month before. And he took it and ran with it and made a heck of a lot of money. He got 30,000 subs. And he named the book.
Down, pick it up and put it in the front seat. Bends down, picks it up. So it must be small. Takes it into the front tab.
Oh, good old Alpine Stroll. Here's another one that was a real coincidence. I don't think I've got more on this, just this graphic, maybe. Oh, maybe there's a bit. It was in his Facebook group, there appeared a threat under the name of Alpine Stroll. And later on that day, he claimed that he'd had this threat, but in actual fact, on his Google search, it showed William Hill Radio. They do betting, and apparently Alpine Stroll had been in the race that day. Now, that tells me and a lot of other people, hang on here, somebody was in his Facebook group, private Facebook group, and it takes a lot of effort to get into that group because they won't accept you unless they're absolutely sure you're above board. And the same person that was in his Facebook group also watched the race that day, the same races that AD looks at. Then he claimed he was hacked. Okay, we'll go past that. These are some of his violations. He had Bubbles using his AD Patreon, and that it should have got him banned. It should have got him. He had so many violations that should have got him banned. And
Lizzie.
Yeah.
I know you didn't want to do this, but can I just say something? In the chat, you guys, Lizzie specifically wanted this to be about AD and the shit that he's done over the past 5 years, and that is it. Nothing to do with anything that has recently happened. This is just about the proof and the debunking that all the creators have been doing for 5 years. Has nothing to do with anything else right now. So if we could please just stay on topic of that. And if you can't, then please don't feel the need to join in the conversation.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate. I'd actually planned on saying something at the beginning that I know a lot of other stuff's going on. I hope that most people who know and understand me would respect me enough that they wouldn't put what they know I wouldn't want into chat. I do trust, and some people may not know and may not understand, so I get that. But thanks, Shirley, for recognizing that. I thought you were going to tell me off.
I would never do that publicly.
Oh, dear. Okay, I just want to point out one here that I've got. And this, he claims, and again, it's not right now because he's not in his, but you know, it was a little while back. AD claims he doesn't make money on YouTube since he was demonetized for this video, which was the hate video. But he uses it to generate money. That's why he does it, by advertising 36 Patreon links in one live. It was almost, I think it was probably 2 hours, whatever. But anyway, that's why he uses it. He does all the links every minute, every 2 minutes. And, oh yeah, this was it. He blamed Kevin for hacking his computer and putting that Google search on. Can you believe it? He said that it was in fact Snakey who had hacked and done those searches. Kevin, who'd left at that point, and this is probably retaliation maybe. I absolutely did not hack his computer. He's just made a mistake by sharing his screen and exposing the history drop down in his searches. I had left the channel on October the 3rd, 2020. How dare he blame one? Oh, he really goes for his spanners or admin that leave. He did that to Robin. Really nasty. Guess what we've come up with? And this is the one I think we all really want to know and understand. I'm going to read this, if you can just bear with me, in case some people don't know what it's about. Hang on, I shouldn't have done that. I'd put a post. AD needs to explain why he denied his escort agency and then claimed it was a joke, like he did with the MI5. It was a joke. Thanks to the member who found it just before he deleted. Yeah. I don't know if she's here right now. Make yourself known. On April the 22nd, 2010, wasn't 2010, 2020. It was discovered that Alan Vinicum had an escort group named Source, opened up in February the 8th of 2017. Now, although controversial, there's really no major issue having an adult-based group. What is seriously worrying is the description. Okay, I've got a picture of this, but you found us Source. Everything you need for a hen night, a stag night, photo shoot, escorts, male and female, girls and boys for that special event. Glamour is our game. Your pleasure is our aim. He's included putting girls and boys for your pleasure. Okay, we will go on. There were 9 members, and I have all the profile details. Unfortunately, one of our members managed to take a video screen recording before it was removed within minutes. Initially, he denied it, but realizing we had the proof, he claimed it was a joke and minimized it with his subs by adding girls and boys takes it to another level. The video shows the pages and takes the links to his profile page, so he can have no denial. I really hope there's an explanation for this. It's not an FB issue. It's far more serious than that. We need confirmation that there is a valid explanation for this. Fill in the blanks. You can see what I watch when I'm not doing this. See, this is the thing. Quite obviously shows escorts, male and female, girls and boys. Glamour is our game. Pleasure is the aim. Now this is... See, he's not only denying it, he's offering $1 million for anybody who can prove it's for real. Well, we have the video. Here is the video that whoever it was, and I can't remember her name, but thank you so much for videoing it. One of our members found it, and that's what I was hoping she was in chat. But yeah. This was, whether you want to believe it was a joke or a mock-up, but I think something becomes very clear in a minute. You still there, Shirley?
I am.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I'm talking to myself.
I just want to.
Here we can see. Here we can see. He says, "Oh, sorry. No, you tell me. This can wait."
No, because it doesn't have anything to do with this. Keep going with this. I'll do it afterwards.
Oh, okay. In a few days ago, and yes, I do. Yeah, that's one of the ones at the beginning. I'm going to play it. So I leave you with this and show that there were members. I located all the members. I know exactly their profiles. I can contact them. I haven't, but one is a mutual friend of one of my friends. And I'm sure that there's one there that he would never want to be made known. I'm not going to do it, but just admit it was there. Admit to it and stop offering $1 million for proof. This is the proof. I don't need them. Well, I do need the $1 million, but I'm not going to get it.
Day today, this doesn't say who wrote this. Can you read this?
Oh, hang
has
on.
anyone trying to hack into your Facebook? Oh, forget about the language. Forget about that.
This is something else. I want to go back and play what he said just the other day. So you've all seen it. Is there anybody that can deny that that is a real escort agency? If you don't, hang on, there is something here that I want to use, and I didn't upload it. Oh, that's a shame. It's actually a lengthy thing on there about getting strippers, and we can provide one for you. Tell us what you want to wear. I mean, adult is okay. Just adult is fine. There's no issue with that. But I want to hear from him. The only thing I want to know, I don't want the $1 million. I don't want anything. Is why is there girls and boys? And the reason that I question that is you have to worry whether some young kids saw that and thought, oh, we can make some money here. Didn't necessarily have to become members, just contact him and whatever. It really bothered me. And I want the answer. Why girls and boys? For your pleasure. That's the answer I want. This is his comment the other day. Denying it. The proof is there. Maybe I do want that $1 million. Do you think we could share it, Shirley? Yeah, Shirley's disappeared. She doesn't want
fucking mute button. Yeah, sure.
We could share it, and we could share it with the one who found it. Is she in? I haven't seen it. Maybe she's not. I didn't advertise on this. Okay, that's a shame. She hasn't got her legs going in chat.
Who?
What's her name? Ray Sun.
Oh, I haven't seen her. No.
Okay. So let's just see what he says.
You have to read this crap. And that's why I'm here tonight, to make a statement on their behalf and my behalf that I unequivocally have never, ever done anything that they've said. And my family will go to court and tell you that I haven't done anything that they've said. Now, they have to prove these allegations, prove it. They have to prove it, which they can't. They've been trying for 5 years. Innuendo, lies, quarter lies. They say I had a escort agency. And I've explained it 100 times. It was a mock-up. If you can find I had escort agency, show me the phone numbers. Show me the phone numbers that existed. Show me the property it was at. Show me where it was. Show me any clients. Show me anything. It never existed. I wanted to make up this thing for a possibility that maybe I could run an agency. So I used to be a DJ where I could hire out kissograms, bands, anything. People for exhibitions, models, photographers want to hire models. And I said, we want to find men and women, boys and girls for photography, proper photographers who make adverts on television. They go straight to the filth. Oh, you want to sell boys and girls to photographers? No, this is serious stuff for models. But it never happened anyway. But they leave out the men and women and just say, oh, he wants boys and girls.
No, we haven't left out the men and women. The men and women would justify the whole thing. You can do what you want with Source if it was just men and women. And it didn't say girls and boys for photography or for anything else. It said glamour for your pleasure. That I want. We all want answered. And you should be able to justify it, even though you deny it. But it's right there. Right, Shell? Suck it to him.
There's so much we could say about this, but I'll just leave that to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've yeah, I went through the profiles. I know exactly who was in there, and I know that he wouldn't want them all exposed, especially one, but I'm not going to expose it. I don't think I think somebody else knows them, but no, I'm not going to expose it. I think I have a little bit more integrity than that, a lot more integrity than he's got, because it wouldn't take much to contact them and check it all out. It really wouldn't, especially that one.
Right.
Okay, we're nearly at the end, so I'm so sorry. I was kind of rambled and stuff. I don't mean to. But
No,
I thought
it's fine. I think now's probably a good time to stop because.
Yeah, and it's nearly done. We're nearly at the end. Just give me a sec.
Yeah.
The fake. Yeah, there's only a couple of minutes left. Can we go through the couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Captain Obvious, yeah. 3 times to change the password. I've been hacked. I'm sure I've been hacked. All my Google searches are being messed around with. All my messengers have been read.
I know they went to the house, so they filmed around the front, and then they drove
messages all over the place. They've been hacked and moved and morphed. I'm very sorry if you've seen anything about me. It's all bollocks. I've been hacked.
No, you haven't.
Bit depressing, really.
Crowdcast denied. He blamed
bit depressing,
Crowdcast.
really.
They categorically
I don't know what to
assured
do about it.
that he was
I have
not.
no. Well, who's hacked? How big? How much do they want me to shut up that they're hacking me now? Why are they hacking me? Who hacked me? I don't know. I've seen my private messenger bandied about. Is it illegal to do these things? I don't know.
Yeah. Turns out it was Crowdcast that was hacked. All other personal information or whatever. Everybody was up in arms about it. But the reality is they did not.
Wasn't that? Didn't we kind of come to the conclusion that Kevin, his IT guy, did that when he left?
And I certainly didn't. This, I believe, because I don't know, because he blamed it on Crowdcast. And here you can see they can categorically assure you that the account has not been hacked.
Yeah, but Kevin wouldn't have hacked it. Kevin had access to it, right? And all of his videos disappeared.
Yeah, and I played that bit where he denied it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, it's just another ploy he has to get through. I don't know if this is the last one, probably. Yeah, that's the last one.
No.
So, yeah, I'm so sorry if I've gone on and stuff. You know, I don't mean to, but I did want to get through most of that. And I think it exposes a heck of a lot of stuff that a lot of people are not aware of that are worth knowing. You look at the big picture and you can see that the majority of it, apart from being nasty, is the agenda. It's always money. And he'll do anything, anybody's expense to get that money. You've seen how he's tried to get money right the way through. That's only a portion of what he's done. So. Okay. Now it's that silence.
Well, you know, I did put a thing in chat, and this isn't about this subject, but I do want to say this for a lot of people, because there are a lot of new people that have come to see AD for what we've been seeing him for years now. And they may not know the actual history. And along with that, they may not know the actual history of the subscribers or the creators that have put in a lot of time and work. So I just want to say to anybody listening, every single channel, creator, and sub that has been here for the past almost 5 years, regardless of what you may think of them now, they deserve a level of respect, because there was a time, not so much anymore because of the legal thing, at least that's what we were told, have put in a lot of time and a lot of work, a lot. And
5 years.
yeah. And so for, you know, and this is just my opinion, I know you didn't want this on here, but I'm just going to put this out here for anybody to come along and just all of a sudden start making accusations against certain creators or subscribers because you've only known them for a minute is unacceptable, at least in Lizzie's life. She wanted this to be strictly about AD, and we tried the best we could to keep it that way. Again, every single one of them, regardless of what you think about them, they deserve respect, because nobody made any money off of this. Nobody was trying to grow channels into these big YouTube things. That's not what this has been about. It's all been just about exposing him, and every single one of those people deserve the respect, and so do the subs. And if that's something that can't be given, that's fine. There are plenty of channels out there where you can go talk about whatever you want, but in Lizzie's lives, that's not how she runs it. That's what she said. Everybody that knows her knows how she is. So
yeah, I'm not a prude. I'm not, you know, everybody thinks I am, but well, maybe some. But no, it's so important to me to not give him any ammunition. I don't think we've given any ammunition. And that's why he never really focuses on our group, because he can't. Because all we do is expose him. There's no hate. Well, I mean, you get the odd people that say things.
Oh, I definitely throw some hate at him at times. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I
mean, I try really hard not to give him ammunition, because I just don't need it. I don't want him using anything that we say. Well, in fact, he hasn't really, has he? He had a go at me very shortly, a while ago. But for anybody who doesn't, like you were just saying, you've got to realize that we've spent 5 years doing this. And let me tell you, which might shock some people, other people it won't shock, is and AD knows this, I have, whether I've watched it or not, I have recorded every single live since beginning of 2019. Every single live. Back then he was doing 3 a day sometimes. Patreon. I've got every single one recorded except July 25th, 2020, because that was the day my daughter got married. So you think of the effort to do that. The time. I mean, effort sometimes, but I didn't always listen. And other people put in as much time as I do in different ways. I mean, it's not easy to make videos over the 5 years that we've been doing it. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying, that I hope there's no comments that are putting us down for what we're doing. I mean, I'm not professional. I don't claim to be professional. I just claim to have a lot of clips that I figured I'd really like to highlight. For those that don't know. So, yeah, we've all put lots of time in.
Yeah.
And I hope nobody that, you know, if there is anybody that is questioning me or us or whatever, then please come to me. This is just, there's no agenda except to expose AD. I don't want to know about any drama, nothing. I don't get into drama. I don't get into stuff that I'm not comfortable with. That's me. I mean, I'm allowed to because now I'm 73. I'm an old lady, right?
Well, you're that old lady in the basement, right? I mean, that's how he had you tagged for 3 years. The little old lady wearing her sweater in a basement. Like, oh, geez.
A Woolies. A cardigan, a Woolies. And yeah, no, I'm pretty hopeless at times. I need, I need Shirley a lot, but point is, it is what it is, and I've got to do what I've got to do because that's why I'm here. And I don't even want AD to hate me for anything because I just want him to recognize that, hang on, yes, that I did do that. I did say that. I was like that. And,
well, he won't. He will never do that. I remember back in the day, one of the main things, and and again, this is where I go back to, that I do believe that, woolly bully, yeah. That I do believe that every single subscriber that's still here, the ones that are, out there still commenting and the ones that aren't, but are still watching, every creator that has come and gone, and there's still some around, but there's been so many. The main goal was to expose him to his subscribers so they could make an informed decision on what they're watching. Right? To see his lies. And it did work. I mean, contrary to what some people think, yeah, he's not off YouTube. That was the ultimate goal. But we made a huge difference by exposing him through the years. I mean, he used to get thousands of people in his chats. He would get, hundreds, 500-600 in his Patreons. He's not getting anywhere near that. Some of that is his own demise.
He's lucky if he gets 20 in Patreon now, and most of them are us. But
right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just want to address one thing which always crops up, and it's when see, my mind's going. It's because I'm old. I'm allowed to because it's old. Some people say that I shouldn't follow him around for the, because of the money and poker and stuff. I shouldn't do that. The reason I do it is because it took a couple of years before he admitted to his subs what he was spending their hard-earned money on. And maybe right now he's not going to poker. It doesn't apply. But during the course of that time, I mean, I've made, he'd say, oh, I'm going to see my grandson. And then oh, golly, you should see in 4 months, he went abroad. In 4 months, he went abroad 4 or 5 times last year, along with several trips to Coventry, London, and Edinburgh or Birmingham. In 4 months. He's been abroad. He was using his Patreon money, his subs money to do all that. And he finally admitted he's kind of doing poker, but he didn't say exactly. He went to, was it Bratislava? He went to Malta. He went to Madrid, probably, or whatever. Doesn't matter. That was a lot of trips in 4 months. And that's without paying all the stuff when he plays the table. When he plays the table, I mean, it can be $600 if it's in a tournament, maybe more. But then there's the side tables, and he plays and he plays, and he's there for a week, 10 days sometimes. That's all the money. That's where all the money's going. So what I would like, and the reason when people say to me, it's none of my business, maybe it's not to do with me as such, but when I see somebody who is spending that amount of money, if he said to them, listen, I've just, thanks, I've made 10,000 from Patreon this month. I'm going to go out and go to poker and spend it all there. So you know, I mean, not literally say it like that, but do you know what I mean? Say that all his money goes in Patreon. Now he's begging, and I mean, his money, all his money goes in Patreon. Poker. He's begging. He's not saying, well, I've made so much money this, not so much this year, but last year. He made a heck of a lot of money last year. And if he was, although he didn't make 25,000 every month, he certainly made something close to it every month. And he's just in denial of it. And and that's why I said initially at the start, the super chat, it makes me sad to see them, you know, people like Nancy sending, but not her in particular. She likes doing it. Silly Nana likes doing it. That's fine. I'm talking about the people that don't realize they really are taken in by his money. So yeah, I just wanted to address that. I don't follow him around where he is at poker because I care whether he plays poker. I see and prove where he is. I will never say he's at anywhere poker unless I have the proof. And I've always had the proof. And it's because he's conning his subs into believing they're giving him money to help him with the channel and feed the dog. I mean, we've had that one. It's been that bad. Pay his rent. So that's why. So I don't want to hear about people that claim I'm stalking him. I'm not. I'm just, if he told his subs where he was going, which he has occasionally lately, then that's different. So that's my little bit, Shil. Got my little rant out.
There you go.
But you agree, right?
I do agree. I agree. You know, it just, all these years, no one has stalked him. I mean, again, he's not an important.
No, not after him. I don't wish him dead. I don't even wish him ill. I mean, I know I'm different to a lot of people.
I just want him to stop because he didn't just stop with the Ruseks. Like we all knew he wouldn't. He went on to accuse other people in a new case of things, and he just needs to stop. He needs to stop.
Yeah. He's not going to, but we want to make people aware.
Right. And you know, and again, we make people aware. And then if they still want to sit in his lives and buy all that bull crap that he's shoveling down their throats and let him insult them and treat them like, you know, servants and throw money at him. Yeah.
Abuse the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
he does.
You know,
that's what I was saying. Kaka, make him do stuff himself. Don't do all his work. Why are you doing that?
Well, because they want to. And if that's okay, if that's what you want to do, then I guess that's fine for you because you can't fix stupid. But there is zero doubt that over the past 5 years, through the hard work of, you know, the truth community, all the creators, all the channels that did so much work debunking and exposing him. And again, nobody made up shit. That, you know, most of the debunking was his own words. Like what you've shown tonight. He says this here, then he says this here, and then and that's what most of those videos have been.
Yeah,
we have
thousands.
We've made a huge dent in, you know, there were a lot. How many times, you know, especially like on certain lives, you know, Salty's lives and stuff like that. And I know Nuff's lives, there were always people coming in going, I was subbed to him till I found your channel, or I found so-and-so's channel, and I can't believe I was buying it. So we made dents. We made huge dents in people, and they thanked, you know, the creators for making those videos because they had no idea. Coming in, maybe you don't know what he did the first 2-3 years, right? And so you're just seeing him from that moment on. Well, here's all these lies and they didn't know the whole burn, baby, burn. They didn't know all these really disgusting lies. Well, and once they saw it, they were like, whoa, that's too much.
Behavior. Yeah, he's modified his behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they think he's okay, but he's not. He's not. And that's why, you know, again, I said this earlier, and I really do mean it. Every single person that's been here deserves a level of respect for what they've put in, because nobody did this for money. Nobody did it to grow channels. Nobody did it for praise. Everybody just did it. Back in that day, every creator, sometimes they would ask another creator, hey, do you mind if I use this clip? But most of the time they didn't even ask, because it wasn't about who got credit, who got, the accolades. It was just about exposing this man.
I know. And I mean, we've all worked hard. And I mean, look at Mike. Anybody who wants to see what his live was like the night before, it's not every night, but when it's worthwhile, Mike Shaw does a superb job. He is so funny. He has me like, he's so sarcastic. It's a killer. Reading one of his posts about AD's previous live, you really in No Hate group. You have to go in there. You don't have to join. It's just a public group. But one of the things that both Mike and I are really annoyed about, and it's actually referring relative to Madeline, because AD thinks he's the world. What did he call himself? The world expert on Madeline. And all he really does, he was churning out videos so fast. I couldn't believe how fast he was churning out videos at the beginning. And he asked permission to use some of mine, and I gave him permission. But then I realized he just learnt through grabbing everybody else's videos and working in a Facebook group where they had to do more help than anything else. So he learned a lot of his stuff parrot fashion. But one thing that really aggravates Mike and myself, and this is still cropping up. I was in a Madeline group the other day. Somebody is still believing that there was blood found under the tiles. If he knows anything about the case, I'm talking about forensics here, going on, and other people have been listening to him and believing him. Under the tiles was the officer who lifted the tiles. It was his blood, Officer Lena. So if anybody ever tells you that in Maddie's apartment there was blood under the tiles, there was blood elsewhere, but under the tiles was the chap, the officer picking up the thing. And it's so irritating because he should know it, but he doesn't, because he learns everything parrot fashion, and I guess he figured that out. And that's the way he works. That's why he doesn't do research. He gets everybody else to do his research, and he gives them all the attention, or supposed, and he's always nice to them, because if he's not, they'll leave. And he claims all the stuff, and he's the one who makes the money, and they just sit back and they get nothing. They do all the work and he makes all the money. Wrong. Anyway, so I think we should call it a day or night. And I want to thank the mods. Oh, thanks Genetic and Carrie. And
Salty dropped in for a minute too.
Oh, did she? Oh, yeah. Hi, Salty. And well, thanks for everybody for being here. I've got the chat there, but I can't see it that well. I can just make out in the blue. There's Kerry and Genetic right now. Yeah. Thanks, Jen.
Stand up's been there. Nuff was there at the beginning. I think she's probably fallen asleep by now. As far as mods go,
we've got a great community. I just love them. There are so many great people in our community, and thank you for the odd inter whatever you're doing, interjecting. That's the word. When need be.
Oh, well, Salty says she's still here. She says I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Hi, Salty.
I do want to say it was nice to see a lot of names that we haven't seen for a while, and I don't want to leave anybody out. But of course, Sandy Blue's been in there, but Betsy B, I haven't seen her in a long time. It's good to see you. There's been a lot of names that we haven't seen for a while, so that was good.
Widow.
Oh, Cassius. Of course, Cassius.
Oh, Cassius. It's okay, Cassius. I recorded it. If you missed any, I can let you know. and you know what?
And stand up. I think I said you, but stand up has been in there. She's been.
Oh, good old stand up, but I can't wait for Christmas.
I
When
know.
she has food to drink.
Yeah.
Funny. But also, actually, when I logged into StreamYard, I don't know if you got the same one. It's a different little hint every time you go in. And one hint was something which I've never done, and I'm going to do it today, is don't forget to thank your replay viewers. So if you are watching on replay, this is a special thank you to you. I mean that, because if you've lasted this long, goodness knows, you just have a big thank you.
I have to put this comment up. Belinda in the house. Yes.
Oh, good old Belinda.
When are you going to address the porn searches?
Oh, yeah. I wish I had that handy. If I had it handy, I'd play it.
That could be an outro. That could definitely be an outro. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen AD move so fast.
No, I don't think I've got it handy. I'd have to change the band, and then
no, it's fine. We all know. Everybody knows. All we have to do is say Belinda. Belinda's going to go down as the most epic moment in the past 5 years. No offense to other epic moments, but that was pretty friggin' epic. At the time, I didn't know her, and I remember we were in that chat, and we're all watching it, and we're all like, who is that? And nobody knew, at least nobody from our group even knew who it was. But then word started getting out, and it was like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and she was in Patreon, and he let her up on the thing, and she says, "Oh, hi, AD. Hi, are you a patron?" "Yes, I've just joined." "Oh, that's really good." Oh. And then what was it she said?
She said, "Well, I just I want to know when you're gonna talk about it or explain it or something." And I think he thought it was
how long?
Else.
How long?
How
And
long?
he said, well, it depends.
How long? Yes. How long are you gonna? Yeah. And then she says, "No. How long before you explain the porn searches?" And oh yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, Silly Nana was in there too. So, yeah.
Oh my God, that was so yeah. I'm sure that stand up has done a lot of things in her life for a lot of different causes, but in our world, that no one, that was definitely
awesome. That was good.
That's her claim to fame over here.
Yeah. And I just want to say, mentioning about Silly Nana, she knows that I try and kind of protect her a little bit in the group, because I know that she has issues writing and her eyes or whatever. But I do hope that you could be open to hearing what I am saying, not looking on me as a hate. I'm not a hater. Again, I would hope you would know I'm not a hater or a stalker, or, well, I may come across as that, but I'm not. Gang stalker, troll. I just honestly have different opinions to you on AD. And so I just thanks for being in the group. I know, most of my members try and respect me by not giving you aggro. So you know that if you have aggro, you just have to come to me, because I try and protect you. I know I shouldn't. Everybody probably thinks I'm crazy, but no, you know, that's how it is. So, okay, I've said good thank you to everybody that I can. I stand up. Roberta, I can see Gaynor. Yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime, but we won't make it such a long video. The reason it was long, I'd previously done it and I released it in honor of Abby, and we are her voice. And yeah, poor Abby, rest in peace. We have to be her voice now. So, okay, well, I think I've...
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Yeah, keep following AD. Yeah, there are plenty of people who will keep watching him. Don't worry about that. Thank you, everybody. And yes, Cassius for Abby. I hope everybody has a good night, and thank you for participating.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, there was one that I didn't play. I'll just leave that as an outro. It's just about who knows what it's about. I'll just leave it as an outro. Oh, I know it was off somebody's channel, so I don't know whose channel it is. So I'm sorry if you want to put in your channel, you know, but it was just one that interested me. So okay, well, thanks everyone. Thanks Shirley so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks Kerry and Jan. Thank you, Jan, for helping out. And oh, you're welcome, Cassius. No, hang on, Fire Dancer. It jumped up. So yeah, let's just go out with this little one. Oh, I remember. Yeah, this is in retaliation, explaining or a response to when the Google search appeared. This is his response. He got a little bit mad and angry in Patreon. So night, night, everyone. And thanks so much for coming and joining me. And you too. And say hi to Cole. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Shirl. And thank you.
You complain about me over 500 times to my local police. Do you think they even listen to you now? Do you honestly think any of my police force listen to what you say? You're cranks. You're stupid old women with stupid ideas and nothing else to do but spend your whole life thinking about me, watching me, every word I say, and then having a phone call about it for 6 hours, and then making a panel show for 4 hours, and then thinking about how they can get me all day. Do you know how pathetic you look to real people? You're talking to each other. No one's interested in what you think of me. You will always have 1,000 subs. It's the same 1,000 people. As for you, fit of whatever the fuck you are, you're in the biggest trouble because you're in England. I could name others. I can't be bothered because I want to stick to the English ones. Of course, Martin, who's not even, it's not even him, is it? You ever see Martin? Martin, that's not him making those videos. That's not him. That's some woman using him as a front. Can't you see that? Probably some harm hair or something. It's not him. He's not capable. All about money and hate. Armchair Detective is unstable. Well, I tell you the unstable ones. You freaking women that sit on those panels for 5 hours. You're the ones who are unstable. Do you think I would waste my time talking about you for 5 hours? I wouldn't even look at you. I'm not mad, Junior. It's your supporter. There's his words. Not me being mad. Your frigging supporter, Junior. And your words, I should be in jail. And I've made a song about it. But you're too thick to understand the meanings. This is the they come out. This is what they say. Look at this. This is the depth of their intellectual knowledge, right? What a lying sack of shit. Degenerate, gambling, alcoholic, sex trafficking pimp. It's like the lunatics are taking over the asylum, and they get channels. They get given channels to spread this hate. And here's the one that I think is going to get her in trouble from Fitz. You can see that on her channel anytime you like. AD is reported local police in his area of the UK. Please feel free to call and report yourselves. If you feel AD is armed, intimidated, falsified information for monetary gain, I don't get paid, or use the Usek family in his scams. What scams? I don't get paid. The police are already aware of a number of reports. Yeah, they're laughing at you because you made too many frigging reports. You're pathetic old women. I'm not even old, some of you. I phoned them and said they're going to do a welfare check. They laughed. No, they didn't laugh. I laughed. They didn't laugh because they don't like the waste of police time. M phones America. Oh, you better go and see Mary Marlowe. I'm worried about her. Go and do a welfare wellness check. Yeah. And poor old Mary Marlowe gets a fucking welfare check right in front of her show because of this M. That's why nobody wanted her back. She was unanimous. No one wanted her working here. And she pretends she left. And some of you idiots, not you idiots, some of her idiots that follow her believe it. And this is in a week where a man was beheaded because of posts like they're doing. A man in France was beheaded because of a post like they're doing today.